and many
Hey there.
had gone cold.
Welcome
with
to
only
Midnight
vague
Sleep
leads.
Crime. I'm here to
She
help you
assigned her
relax
team to
tonight.
begin cross-referencing
I know many
the
of you
initials
use this
with these
video to
files.
fall asleep. So,
The first match
before
came
you get
quick.
cozy, also,
TL,
let me
Timothy
know where
Lasker,
you're watching from,
age 10,
and what time it is
disappeared
there.
while walking to
I'd
school
love to hear
in
from you.
1979.
Story 1. It started
AW,
with a receipt.
Angela White,
That's
8,
what made the case
vanished
different.
from a grocery store
Not the
parking
missing
lot
girl,
in 1980.
not the quiet motel,
MC,
not
Maya
even the
Carter,
blood,
6,
but a small,
last seen
crumpled
leaving a
receipt
church daycare
printed at
in
exactly
1982.
2:17 a.m.
Each case
Because
had
according
one
to the
bizarre
motel owner,
similarity.
no one checked
Initial
out that
interviews
night.
with the Harlan family
October
were
14th,
conducted,
2018.
but not followed up.
Just past midnight,
The
a
Harlans
girl
always
named
seemed
Heine
to
Cullard
have
checked
just
into the
seen
Silver
the
Crescent
child
Motel,
nearby,
a rundown
but claimed
roadside
they knew
stop
nothing.
just outside Rahim
None were
Yar
arrested.
Khan. She was
None were
22,
searched.
a university
But the Harlans
student,
were in the background
quiet,
of everything.
polite, and completely
The family.
alone. The night clock would
The
later
Harlan
say
family
there was nothing
patriarch,
unusual
Walter
about her.
Harlan,
She
had
didn't
died
look
in
scared,
1992.
didn't look like she was
The
running
same
from
year
anything,
the house was
he
first
told
abandoned.
police. She
He
just
was a
looked
church
tired.
deacon, local
Heine paid in
handyman,
cash.
and often
Room
hosted
number
Sunday
6,
dinners for neighbors.
second floor,
His
end
wife,
of the
Anne
hallway.
Harlan,
The
had
kind
died
of
in
room
hospice
people
just
only
3
stay
years
in when
earlier.
they have no better option.
Photos
That
from
should
their
have been
home
the end
showed
of
the
it.
couple with their
Just
children,
another guest.
Gregory,
Just another
Sarah,
night.
Michael,
But at
and Rosie.
2:17 a.m.,
Rosie
something
had been
happened
the youngest by nearly
because
10
the system
years.
logged a transaction.
Interviews with surviving
Check out.
community members
Room
painted
number
a
6.
curious portrait.
Paid in full.
The Harlans
But there
were
was a
respected,
problem. No one
helpful,
saw her leave.
and devout.
No camera footage.
But those who
No
knew them
footsteps
well
in the hallway.
or dared to
No
question
door
them
opening.
spoke
Nothing.
of secrets,
And when the cleaning
strictness,
staff opened room
and an
number 6 the
unsettling
next
devotion
morning,
to privacy.
Heine Cullard was gone.
They
But
always
she
locked
hadn't
their
left,
basement,
because
one former
inside the
neighbor
room,
said.
they found her bag,
Always.
her phone,
Not just a latch,
her shoes,
heavy chains,
and on the bathroom floor,
like they were
a
hiding
thin,
something alive.
dried line of blood. Not
A
enough
pattern.
for a struggle.
Hidden
Not
in
enough
plain
for a
sight
body.
glass,
Just
widened
enough
the
to
search.
say something
She
went
pulled
wrong.
property records for
Detective
the Harlan
Armin
family's
Qureshi
business
got the
dealings
call at 9:42
and discovered
a.m.
Walter had purchased
At
3
first,
adjacent
it
parcels
sounded
of land
routine.
in the early
Missing
1980s.
Possible runaway.
2 had
But
been
then
sold,
dispatch added one
but one
detail.
remained untouched.
There's a
and
checkout
wooded.
logged at
10 acres of
2:17
thick
a.m.
Michigan
But
forest.
staff says she never left.
She obtained a warrant.
That was enough
and
to make
headed
him
out with
pause.
cadaver dogs.
By 10:15 a.m.,
On the
he
third
was
day,
standing
they
outside the
found
Silver
the first
Crescent
shallow
Motel,
grave.
and he immediately
second,
didn't like it.
then a
Places
third.
like that always had stories.
Each grave contained
Most
the
just never
remains
got
of a
reported.
child.
The neon sign
Dental
buzzed
records
overhead.
confirmed what
Half
Glass
the letters
already
flickering.
feared.
Rainwater
Timothy
pooled in the
Lasker,
cracked pavement.
Angela White, and
the
Maya
building
Carter
itself
had all been buried
looked
there.
like it had been forgotten
Their
years ago.
disappearances,
Armin stepped
once scattered
inside.
and forgotten,
The air smelled
were
stale,
now fully connected,
heavy, like
bound
something
together
had been
by the
sitting
Harlan
too
name.
long without being disturbed.
The fifth victim.
The motel owner, Rashid
Meanwhile,
Mahmood, stood
forensic
behind the
techs made a
counter.
discovery inside
Nervous,
the secret room's
too
toy
nervous.
chest.
"You're the detective,"
Hidden beneath
he
the
asked
false
quickly.
bottom was
Armin
a strip
nodded.
of 35
"Walk me through
millimeter
it."
film.
Rashid swallowed.
After careful
She
development,
checked in around midnight.
it revealed 8
maybe
still
12:10.
photographs.
Paid cash.
Each one
Didn't
showed
say
a child
much.
sitting in the same
Anyone
chair
with her?
in the same room.
No. Alone.
One girl
Armin
seated
studied
in
his
the fourth
face.
photo.
People
Wore a
lied in
shirt
small
with
ways.
Camp Elmwood,
Eyes shifting.
1978,
Hands fidgeting.
printed across it.
Voices tightening.
Glass found
Rashid
the
was
camp
doing
still
all three.
operating and
And the
contacted their
checkout.
historical office.
Armin asked. "That's
That
the
girl
strange
was
part,"
Emily Stanton,
Rashid said.
reported
"I didn't
missing in
process it.
1978
The system
during a family
did."
trip.
Armin
Her
frowned.
case had gone cold.
"What do you mean?"
Ruled
The
as
system
likely
did.
abduction by a stranger
Rashid
off
turned
the
the
highway.
monitor slightly.
No suspects.
There's an automated billing
no leads.
system. Old
Until
software.
now.
Sometimes it glitches.
Emily's
but
initials
not like
matched
this.
one on the dollhouse.
The screen showed it
ES.
clearly.
The body
Room
count
number
was now
6.
5.
Check-in.
The whistle
12:11
blew.
a.m.
Then,
Check-out.
a miracle.
2:17 a.m. Status.
Detective Glass
completed.
received an anonymous
Armin leaned
envelope in
closer.
her mailbox at
Who
the
entered
station.
this?
No
No
return
one,
address.
Rashid said quickly.
Inside was a
"I
letter
was here
and a
all
photo.
night. No
a
one
Polaroid
came to the
of the
desk."
dollhouse, taken clearly
Armin
in the
didn't
1980s.
respond immediately, because there
Pinned
were
to
only
it was
two
a note,
possibilities.
handwritten
Either
in block
Rashid
letters.
was lying, or someone
never let
checked
her
out
out.
without ever being seen.
She
And
begged.
Armin didn't like either
I couldn't
option.
stop it.
"Show me the cameras."
But I made her a room so she
Rashid
could feel
hesitated,
safe.
just for a second.
There are more.
But Armin caught
Look
it.
under the floor.
"They're working,"
The
Rashid
truth is
said
deeper
quickly.
than you know.
"Good," Armin replied.
Glass's
"Then
hands
this should
trembled.
be easy."
There was a
They
faint
moved
signature
into the
at
back
bottom.
office. A small,
S.
cramped room
A visit
filled with
to
old
Gregory
monitors
Harlan.
and tangled wires. The
Gregory
kind of
Harlan,
setup that
the
hadn't
eldest
been
son,
upgraded in years.
Was now 63
Rashid pulled up
and
the
lived in a
footage.
remote cabin
"Here,"
2 hours
he
north
said.
of Detroit.
Second floor hallway.
Glass and two
Room
officers
number 6
arrived
is at the
unannounced.
end.
He
The
answered
video
the door
played.
with a tired
Grainy.
expression.
Black
Long
and white.
gray hair pulled back.
Timestamp in the corner.
Eyes dull.
12:12 a.m.
You're here about
Ina
Rosie.
appeared, walking
said
down
quietly,
the hallway, carrying
almost
her
like
bag.
it was a relief.
She reached room number 6.
Glass raised an eyebrow.
Opened the door.
We're
Went
here
inside.
about all of them.
Armin leaned forward.
Gregory let
Now
out a
skip
long
to
sigh and
217.
stepped aside.
Rashid clicked
Then
ahead.
I guess it's
The
time.
timestamp jumped.
Inside, his
2:16
walls were
a.m.
covered in childlike drawings.
2:17 a.m.
Rosie's
2:18
face appeared
a.m.
repeatedly,
Nothing.
drawn over and over
No
in
movement.
various stages of life.
No door opening.
A
No
9-year-old,
shadow.
a teenager,
No sign of anyone entering
even a
or
woman
leaving.
in her 20s.
Armin's jaw tightened.
She never
Play
left
it
that
again.
room.
They
He said
watched it
softly.
again. Slower this
She cried
time.
every night.
Frame by frame.
She sang lullabies
Still
to
nothing.
herself.
But
I
then,
made her the dollhouse.
Armin saw it.
I
Something
brought her
small.
food when they forgot.
Easy to miss.
But I
At
wasn't strong
exactly
enough to stop.
2:17 a.m. The hallway
Glass
light
pressed.
flickered. Just
Who kept
once.
her there?
Armin pointed.
He stared out the window.
Was it? Rashid
them.
froze the frame.
But mostly
The
Sarah.
image sharpened slightly.
She said Rosie
And that's
was
when
too
they both
wild.
saw it. At
Said
the
she
very
had to
end
be
of the
tamed.
hallway. Near room number
One
6.
final clue.
For just a single frame.
Gregory said something
There was
else
someone
before
standing
being taken
there.
into custody.
Not Heiner. Not
She
anyone
wasn't
they
the last.
recognized.
There
Just
was
a
another,
shape. A person.
boy.
Watching the
He
door.
didn't live in the room.
And then,
He
gone.
died before they built
Rashid's voice trembled.
the floor.
That wasn't there
The
before.
one Rosie slept on.
Armin didn't respond.
That's where they put him.
Because he wasn't looking at the figure anymore.
Detectives
He
returned
was
to
looking
the
at the
farmhouse and
timestamp.
removed the planks beneath the
2:17
bed.
a.m.
Ground
The exact
penetrating
moment the
radar
system
lit up
logged the
almost
checkout.
instantly.
And
They
suddenly,
began to dig.
this wasn't just a
and what
missing
they
person
found would
case.
change the direction
It was
of the
something
entire
else.
case.
Something that didn't
The
make
ground
sense.
beneath the bed
Something
had
that
always
shouldn't
felt
be
wrong.
possible. And as
Luis
Armin
Romero
stared at
had
that
mentioned
frozen
it early
frame,
on.
he realized
The
one thing.
floorboards under Rosie's
Whoever,
bed were
or
thicker
whatever,
than the rest,
stood in that hallway
layered differently.
was the last thing to see
Now,
Heiner
with
colored
Gregory
alive.
Harlan's confession
Armin didn't
and a
speak as they
confirmed body
climbed the
count
stairs.
rising,
Rashid
it was
walked
time
ahead
to
of
dig.
him, keys jangling nervously
The
in
forensic
his hand.
excavation
The
team
hallway
began
above
carefully
felt
removing
different from
soil.
the lobby.
Within
Quieter,
hours, they
heavier,
uncovered a wooden box,
like the air itself had
not a
settled into
coffin,
something thick
but a
and
carpenter's
unmoving.
chest.
Room number 6 stood at the very
Inside
end.
lay the skeletal
A
remains
single yellow
of a young
bulb
boy,
flickered above the
no
door,
older than 7.
buzzing softly.
There were no
Armin
clothes,
stopped a few
no
feet away.
toys,
He didn't
no
know
name.
why, but something
Only a
about
small
the door
silver pendant
made him
clutched in
hesitate.
his tiny hand.
You said housekeeping
The
found
letter
it like
D
this.
etched into it.
Armin asked.
Who was
Rashid
D?
nodded quickly.
Detective
Yes.
Glass sent
Around
the pendant to
8:30.
be analyzed while
They knocked.
forensics worked
No
on
answer,
estimating
so
time
they
of
opened
death.
it. Door locked.
The chest
No,
itself dated
slightly
back to
open.
the 1950s.
Armin's eyes narrowed.
Older than Rosie.
That's not in your
older
report.
than even the Harlan children.
Rashid froze.
The boy was
I thought
different
it
from
didn't
the
matter.
other victims.
Armin
His
stepped
remains
closer.
showed signs of
It matters.
malnutrition and
Everything
prolonged
mattered
physical
now.
abuse.
Rashid fumbled
Several
with
bones
the keys.
had been broken and healed
Even though the door
improperly,
wasn't locked,
and there was
even
evidence
though all
of
he
blunt
had to
force
do
trauma to the
was
skull.
push it open, Armin noticed
Someone had not just
and
hidden
filed
this
it away.
child.
Open it,
They had erased
he
it.
said. Rashid swallowed.
And yet,
Then slowly,
Gregory Harlan had
he
known
pushed the
about
door.
him.
It creaked.
Glass
Loud.
returned to the
Unnatural.
jail for another interview.
The room revealed itself
Gregory's
inch by
truth.
inch. And immediately,
Gregory sat
Armin
with a
felt
numb
it.
expression,
Not fear,
hands folded
not
on
yet,
the cold steel
but
table.
something off. The
When
room
Glass
was too
showed him a
still.
photo of the pendant,
Not the normal stillness
his
of
lip
an empty
quivered
space,
slightly.
but the kind that felt
His name was
preserved,
David.
like nothing
said
had
quietly.
moved since the moment something
He was
happened.
our cousin.
Armin stepped
Sort of.
inside.
He
The
came to
smell
live
hit
with
him
us
first.
in 1971,
Not
I think.
strong, not
I was
overwhelming,
9.
but
Rosie wasn't even
unmistakable.
born yet.
Iron,
Why
faint,
was he there?
dry,
Glass asked.
blood. The room
Gregory
itself
paused.
was small.
No one
Standard
ever
layout.
said.
Bed
One
to the
day
left.
he was just
Table
in
near
the
the
attic.
window. Bathroom
Mom
door
said he was
slightly
special
ajar.
and
Everything
couldn't go
looked
to school.
normal.
Dad
Too
said
normal.
the state didn't need to
The bed
know,
was made.
so he
perfectly.
lived with us.
No wrinkles.
But he wasn't allowed
No
to
signs
speak
of sleep.
unless spoken to.
Armin frowned. She checked in
looked
at
down at
midnight.
his hands.
Right.
I think my
Rashid
parents
nodded.
were paid to keep him.
Yes.
A hush
And
job.
she didn't touch the bed.
Foster system loophole or
Rashid didn't
something.
answer. Because he
They
didn't
never
have
filed
one.
paperwork.
Armin moved
He
slowly
wasn't on
through the
any
room.
records.
His eyes scanning
Sarah
every
used to
detail.
call him the ghost
The bag
in the
sat
walls.
near the chair. Zipped.
What happened to him?
Untouched.
Glass
He
pressed.
crouched beside it.
Gregory
Opened it
didn't look
carefully.
up.
Clothes.
Sarah said
Books.
he saw something he wasn't
charger.
supposed to.
Everything neatly
Maybe
packed.
something Dad did.
No signs of panic.
One day she told
No
me
rushed
David
movement.
ran away.
This wasn't
But I
someone
knew.
leaving in a hurry.
I heard the
This was
hammer.
someone who never planned
I
to
heard
leave
him
at all.
scream.
Armin stood. His
State
gaze
records
shifted
and a
toward the
missing
bathroom.
name glass requested
The door
state
still
foster
slightly
care
open.
and orphanage
Just
records
enough to see
from the
inside.
late 1960s
That's where we found
to
it,
early
Rashid
1970s.
said quietly. Armin didn't
Several
respond.
files were missing.
He stepped forward,
One in particular
pushed the
stood
door
out.
open fully.
A child
The
identified
bathroom light
only as
flickered once,
infant DJ,
then steadied,
placed into
and there it
temporary
was,
care in
a
1966
thin line of dried blood,
after his parents
running
died
across
in a
the
house
tile
fire.
floor. From
No
the sink
adoption paperwork.
to the drain.
No foster
Armin
family
crouched.
placement.
Examined it closely.
The last entry
It
listed
wasn't
a
splattered.
caseworker.
Not pooled.
Howard Ellison.
Not chaotic.
Now long deceased.
It was controlled.
DJ.
Precise.
The initials
Like
carved
it had been
into the
placed there.
dollhouse roof.
What do you think?
Glass sat back
Rashid
in her
asked
chair,
nervously.
realizing
Armin
what it
didn't
meant.
answer right away.
The
Because
dollhouse
something
wasn't
about it
just a memorial.
didn't feel right.
It was a roll
Blood
call.
told stories.
And David,
Violent
the
ones.
earliest victim,
Messy ones.
had been buried
This
beneath
one
it,
didn't.
while
This
others
isn't from
were
a struggle,
imprisoned inside
Armin
it.
said finally.
The
Rashid
family
blinked.
web, it became
Then
clear.
what is it?
The
Armin
Harlans had
straightened
operated
slowly.
more like a cult
I don't know
than
yet,
a family.
But he knew one thing.
Walter Harlan ruled
Whatever
with an
happened
iron
here
fist,
didn't
and
follow
Anne
the
backed
rules.
every
He
decision.
turned to the sink.
Sarah,
The faucet
the
was
oldest
dry.
daughter,
Clean.
had become the enforcer.
Too clean.
Cold,
No stains.
calculating,
No
cruel.
residue. Yet the blood
Michael
had
was
clearly
mostly
come from
absent
here.
from records,
Armin reached
having
out,
died in a car
ran his
accident
fingers
in
lightly along
1991.
the edge, and froze.
Gregory had been the
There
only
was
one
moisture,
to show remorse.
not visible,
With
not
David's
obvious,
discovery, the
but
body
there,
count rose to
cold,
6.
as if the
But one
sink had
set of
been
initials
used.
on the dollhouse
Recently.
still had no match.
That's not possible, he muttered.
LB Glass
Rashid
believed that
frowned.
LB was
What?
someone recent,
Armin didn't
someone
respond.
closer in age to
Instead,
Rosie,
he turned
or
his
even after.
attention to the mirror.
someone they
Cracked,
hadn't uncovered
just
yet.
slightly. A
She
thin
requested
fracture running
forensic
from the top
scans
corner.
of the entire house.
He leaned closer,
The walls
studying
have
it.
secrets.
and then he saw it.
While scanning
Not
the
clearly,
upstairs hallway,
not directly,
one tech noticed
but
something
in the
odd
reflection.
behind a stretch of
Something
wall
moved.
near what would have been
Armin
the
stepped
children's
back
bedrooms.
instantly, heart
The
racing.
wall, constructed
What?
in 1985
Rashid
renovations,
asked, alarmed.
had hollow space.
Nothing, Armin
but no
said
reason
quickly.
for it to exist.
But his eyes stayed on the
no
mirror,
crawl space.
because he knew
No
what he
plumbing.
saw. A shadow,
A demolition
standing
crew
behind him.
opened the wall
He
carefully.
turned.
What
Nothing.
they found inside
The room
shocked
was empty.
everyone.
But when he
A
looked back
second,
at the mirror,
smaller hidden
the
room.
crack seemed
This
different,
one sealed from the
wider,
inside with rusted
as if something
hinges
had
and
pressed
nails.
against it.
No windows.
From the other side,
No doors.
Armin's jaw tightened.
Inside was a child's
Get the forensic
mattress,
team up here,
blankets,
he said.
a rusted chamber
Rashid
pot,
didn't hesitate.
a makeshift
He
vent
turned and
punched
hurried out
through
of
the
the
ceiling
room,
into the attic,
leaving Armin alone.
and carved into the
The
wall
silence returned.
over and over again
Heavy,
were 3
watching.
letters.
Armin took a
LB,
slow breath,
LB,
forced himself to
LB,
stay calm.
LB,
This
but
was
no
a crime
body,
scene.
No bones.
Nothing more.
Only a name.
Nothing
Scratched
supernatural.
faintly under
Nothing
a painted
impossible.
section of wall.
Just facts.
Lily,
Just evidence.
help me, please.
But then,
A
the
race
bathroom
against
light
time.
flickered again.
This
Once,
changed everything.
Twice.
Glass
and
knew
for a
now
split
there might be a
second,
7th victim
The mirror
who wasn't
reflected
dead,
something else.
or at least wasn't
Not the room.
confirmed.
A hallway.
If
long,
Lily was kept in
dark,
that room,
And at
and
the
if
end,
there were no remains,
room number 6.
it meant she may
Armin
have been
stepped
released
back sharply.
or
The image
escaped.
vanished. The mirror
The
returned
timeline
to
was
normal.
unclear,
But the feeling
but the
didn't.
discovery forced
Because
the
now,
department to
he
issue a
wasn't just
statewide search
investigating
for
a
anyone matching.
disappearance. He was standing
Female
inside
estimated
something
age 40
that
to
didn't
45,
behave like reality.
possibly
Minutes
named
later,
Lily B. or
the forensic
Lily
team
Harlan,
arrived.
lived in or around
2 officers,
Kalamazoo between
1
1980
technician.
to 1990.
They began their work immediately.
No official birth
photographing,
records,
collecting samples,
foster systems,
documenting
school rosters,
everything.
even
Armin
hospital
stepped out of the
admittances were
bathroom,
cross-referenced.
gave them space.
One name finally
One of the
surfaced.
officers approached him.
Lily
Sir,
Beck,
you need to
born
see this.
1981,
Armin
was
followed
taken
him
in
to
as
the
a
main
ward
room.
of the state after
The
being
officer
found
pointed
wandering the
toward the
woods
table.
near Allegan.
A small
in
receipt lay
1992.
there, crumpled,
No memory of her
slightly
past.
stained.
She
Armin
had been
picked it up
placed in
carefully.
long-term care
His
after
eyes
being
scanned the
diagnosed
text.
with trauma-induced
Room number
amnesia.
6. Check out.
She now lived in a group home
2:17
in
a.m.
Traverse City.
Same as the system.
Glass left that
But
night.
that wasn't what made his stomach
Face
drop.
to face, Lily
It was
Beck
the
sat
signature
quietly in the garden
at the bottom
of
of
her
the
residential
receipt,
facility.
where the guest
Her
signs.
eyes following a
There was a
butterfly
name,
with childlike
not
wonder.
Heine-colored, not even
Detective
close.
Glass approached
It
slowly,
read, "Stay."
unsure of how much Lily
Armin's grip
understood.
tightened.
The
That's not
staff
a
had
name,
warned her.
the officer said quietly.
Lily had limited
Armin
verbal
didn't
ability,
respond,
though her
because
mind
he was already
sharp in
thinking
unexpected
ahead.
ways.
About the figure in the hallway,
Lily,
the flicker at
Glass said
2:17,
gently,
the
showing
mirror,
her a photo
the
of the
blood.
dollhouse.
And now,
Do you
this.
remember this?
Sir, the officer
Lily's
said
eyes locked
hesitantly.
onto it.
Armin looked up.
She reached out
What?
and gently tapped the
There's
tiny
something
roof,
else.
right
Armin
where her
felt it
initials had
immediately.
been carved.
That same tension,
She began
that
to hum,
same wrongness.
softly.
What is it? The officer
tune
pointed
faint and
toward the
broken.
door. Armin turned,
Glass froze,
and his blood ran cold.
it was the same
because on the
lullaby
inside
Rosie
of the
had
door,
been recorded singing
carved
on
into
one
the
of the
wood,
tapes.
deep, jagged,
Lily looked up at her,
were 3 words.
and for the
She
first
didn't
time
leave.
spoke a
Armin
full
stared at
sentence.
it, heart pounding,
Rosie was
mind
my
racing.
sister.
Because now,
Detective
there was
Ellen
no doubt.
Glass sat across
Heine-colored
from Lily
didn't
Beck
check
in a
out.
quiet room
She
of the
didn't run.
residential facility.
she didn't disappear.
The moment
She
Lily
was
said
taken,
Rosie was my
and whatever
sister,
took her
the entire
still here.
investigation took a
The
dramatic
first
shift.
mistake investigators
For
make
months,
in a
Rosie
missing
had been
person
the tragic
case
centerpiece
is
of a
assuming the
cold case turned
disappearance is the
serial
beginning of the
investigation.
story.
But
Armin
now,
knew better.
a survivor had
Disappearances
emerged.
are endings.
Someone
The
who had
final
lived
page
inside
of
the
something that
walls,
started long
who had
before.
breathed the same
By
damp
noon,
secret air as
Heine-colored's
Rosie.
name had already
And
been
she wasn't
pushed through
just
the
a victim.
system.
She was
University
family.
records. Phone
Glass
logs.
steadied her voice.
Bank activity.
Lily,
Social media.
can you tell
everything.
me about Rosie?
On paper, she was
Lily's
exactly what
eyes
everyone
shifted
said
toward
she
the window,
was.
where
A
the
normal
light
student.
filtered through trees.
Third-year psychology
She hummed
major.
the lullaby
Good
again.
grades.
Then
No
she
disciplinary
whispered.
record. No
She
known
braided
enemies.
my hair.
But Armin had worked
We made
too many
stories in the
cases to
dark.
trust normal.
That was all
Because
she said.
normal people don't
But it was
vanish from
enough.
locked rooms. He
Confirmation.
sat at his desk,
Back in
scrolling
Kalamazoo,
through her phone data,
DNA tests
messages,
were fast-tracked.
call logs,
A hair strand from
app
Lily was
activity,
compared to samples
nothing
recovered
unusual at
from
first.
Rosie's belongings.
chats with friends,
Within 48
class
hours,
groups,
the results came back.
family messages,
99.94%
predictable,
sibling match.
until 3 days before
Lily
she
Beck
disappeared.
was Lily Harlan,
That's when the pattern
the
broke.
final
Her
unconfirmed
activity
child from the
changed,
dollhouse roof
subtly,
carvings.
but clearly.
Born in
Search
1981,
history,
just 2
late
years
night
before
usage,
Rosie disappeared.
repeated queries.
But
Armin
something
leaned
didn't
closer
fit.
to the screen,
Lily
reading
was
each
born
one
after
carefully.
Rosie was hidden away
Silver
in the
Crescent
room.
Motel history.
Glass consulted
Incidents
with
Rahim
child
Yarkhan
psychologists
roadside
and legal
motels.
historians.
People
became
disappearing from
clear.
hotel rooms Pakistan.
Rosie may have been imprisoned
Armin's
first,
jaw tightened.
but
She
Lily
wasn't
had been
randomly
born
there.
into that horror.
She chose that place.
Raised within
He
captivity.
scrolled further. The
Her
searches
entire
got more
childhood spent
specific,
inside walls,
more focused,
hidden from the world.
more disturbing.
She
What
didn't
happens if
disappear.
someone never checks out
She
hotel
simply never
system?
existed on paper.
Can a person exist without
That made
record
her
after
survival
checkout?
all the more remarkable.
217 meaning repeated time sightings.
Into the attic.
Armin sat back
With Lily's
slowly.
memory still
You
fragile,
knew something. he
Glass
murmured.
returned to the
This
farmhouse.
wasn't curiosity.
This time
This was
she focused on the
investigation.
attic.
Hannah had been
Gregory
looking
had
for
mentioned
something,
David being
and
kept
she
there
believed she
before
would
Rosie.
find it at the
If Lily
Silver
had
Crescent
also been
Motel.
hidden, there
An
had
hour
to be
later,
some record.
Armin was standing
Something
inside
tangible.
Heine's university dorm.
Behind
Room
a false
312.
panel, they found
Small,
a
neat,
narrow shelf
organized,
built between the joists,
just like the motel
filled
room.
with spiral
Her
notebooks.
roommate sat on the edge
Nearly
of the bed,
20 of them,
arms crossed
written
tightly.
in a cramped,
Nervous.
obsessive scrawl.
Her name was Sadia.
The initials
She didn't tell you where
RH,
she was going.
Rosie Harlan,
Armin
were
asked.
on the inside of
Sadia
each front
shook her
cover.
head quickly.
The
No,
notebooks were
she
diaries,
just said she had to check something.
pages and pages of
What
entries
kind of
written
something?
in isolation.
I don't know, Sadia
Lily's
said.
hair is soft,
But she'd been acting
she
strange
asked
for
why
a
we
few
don't go
days.
outside.
Armin's
I
attention
told her this
sharpened.
is where we live.
How?
She cried.
Sadia hesitated,
I sang to her.
like she wasn't sure if she
Sarah
should say
says
it.
I'm too loud.
Just say it,
I think she
Armin
hurt
said
Lily.
calmly.
I saw
Sadia
bruises.
swallowed.
I'll
She
hide
kept
her when I
asking
can.
weird questions.
We heard a
What
dog
kind of
barking.
questions?
I pressed
Sadia
Lily's
looked
hand
up,
to the vent so
her
she'd
voice
feel
quieter now.
it. I told
About
her the
people
world is
disappearing.
real. She didn't
Armin
believe
didn't
me.
react, didn't interrupt.
The entries ended
She asked me if I
abruptly in
believed someone could
1991.
just stop
Glass
existing.
could hardly
Sadia
breathe as she
continued.
flipped through them.
A pause.
They didn't
like
just
they were
confirm
erased.
the abuse.
The room
They
felt
confirmed
colder.
intent,
And what did you say?
calculation,
Armin
generational
asked.
cruelty.
I told her that's impossible.
Rosie had been mothering
Sadia
Lily
replied.
while they were both prisoners.
Armin nodded slowly.
The cover
Did
up
she believe
everything
you?
about the case now
Sadia
pointed
shook her
to
head.
Sarah Harlan,
No.
the enforcer,
Armin
the
moved
controller,
toward Heine's
the
desk.
surviving daughter
A
who
laptop
had
sat
somehow
there,
evaded the spotlight
closed.
during the family's
Did the police already
disintegration.
check this? He asked.
She'd moved
Sadia
out of
nodded.
Michigan in the late
Yes,
90s and
but
changed
they
her
said
last
there
name.
wasn't much.
It took 2
Armin
days
opened
to
it
find
anyway.
her.
Entered the access code.
She was living in
The
Arizona
screen
under
lit
the
up.
name Sarah Lenning,
Files. Folders.
married to the very same
Documents.
retired officer
Most
Charles
of it was
Lenning,
academic.
who had dismissed
Assignments.
Rosie's case in
Research
1981.
papers. Notes.
The
But
connection
one folder
finally
stood
came
out.
full circle.
No name.
Sarah
no
had
label.
married the cop
Just
who
a
buried
blank
the case.
icon. Armin
The
clicked
arrest
it.
glass coordinated
Inside,
with Arizona
there were dozens of
authorities for a
files.
surprise visit.
Screenshots. Articles.
At 6:15
Old
a.m.,
reports.
officers
all
arrived
connected
at
by
a small
one thing.
adobe house outside of
Disappearances.
Flagstaff.
Not just
Sarah
any
answered the
disappearances.
door with bleary eyes,
Specific ones.
clutching a robe.
People who
Glass
vanished.
stepped forward,
From enclosed
badge
spaces.
out.
Hotel rooms.
Sarah Harlan,
train
she said.
compartments.
You're under
elevators,
arrest for the kidnapping,
places where there
unlawful
should have been no
imprisonment,
escape.
and murder
Armin's
of multiple
pulse slowed.
children in Kalamazoo
Focused.
County, Michigan.
Because now, this
Sarah
wasn't
didn't
just one
protest.
case.
She
This was a
smiled.
pattern. He
I was
opened one of the
wondering when you'd
files.
come.
A news clipping. Dated
interrogation.
2009. Man
In
missing
the
from locked
interview
hotel
room,
room.
Sarah
No
remained
signs of
disturbingly
exit.
calm.
Another.
She requested
Woman
coffee,
disappears
drank
overnight.
it slowly,
Security
and answered
shows no
every
movement.
question with an unnerving
Another.
flatness.
Couple vanishes
Glass
from
leaned
guest
in.
house. Belongings
Why
left
did you
behind.
imprison Rosie?
Armin's jaw tightened.
Why did you kill David?
Same pattern.
Sarah
Every
blinked.
time. No
Because they
forced
were
entry.
weak.
No
They
escape.
cried.
No
They asked
explanation.
questions.
Just.
Weakness
Gone.
spreads like
And
mold.
then, he saw it.
And Lily?
A note.
Lily
Typed.
was
Short.
an accident.
Simple.
Mom said
At
she
the
was
top
a
of the
punishment,
folder.
but
It read,
Rosie wouldn't let her grow
They don't
up right.
leave.
She protected
Armin felt
her,
a chill run down
lied
his
for her,
spine.
loved her.
Same words.
I was
As
trying
the
to
door
fix
in
that.
room number 6.
Glass
Sadia
narrowed
spoke
her eyes.
quietly behind him.
Did you kill Rosie?
Is that bad?
Sarah's
Armin
lips
didn't
twitched.
answer right away.
Number
Because
Rosie
his
died
mind
on
was
her
already
own.
connecting it.
She stopped eating.
Heine didn't just
She
research
gave everything to Lily.
She believed
her
it.
strength,
And she
her
went
body,
to that motel.
her hope.
To prove it.
I didn't need to
He
kill her.
scrolled further.
She did it
One
herself.
final file. different
final
from the
tape.
others. A video.
Back at the house,
Armin
one
hesitated.
final tape was found
Just for a
behind a wall
second.
panel in the hidden
Then,
room.
He clicked
It
play.
was dated August
The footage
14th,
was dark,
1991.
grainy, recorded on
The
a
screen
phone.
flickered to life,
Heiner appeared on screen,
showing Rosie,
alive,
thin, pale,
sitting in what
her
looked
hair in
like her
braids,
dorm room.
eyes bright
She looked
despite
tired,
the squalor.
but focused.
She looked into
If
the
anyone
camera
finds
and spoke.
this, her voice was
If you're
steady.
watching this,
It means I was
then I
right.
didn't make it.
Armin leaned closer.
But maybe Lily did.
They don't disappear randomly,
Maybe she found the
Heine
vent.
said. They are
Or the
taken.
door.
A pause.
Or maybe someone
Not
finally
by
cared
people.
enough to look.
The screen flickered slightly,
Lily is strong.
but by something
She
else.
deserves the sun.
Sadia gasped
Please,
softly
let her have
behind
it.
him. Heine looked
The screen
directly
cut
into the
to black.
camera. I think it
Closure,
happens at a
and not
specific
Rosie's
moment.
body was never
A
recovered.
voice dropped.
Despite
Almost a whisper,
excavation,
a
sonar, and even
point where
drone-based
something
ground scans of
opened.
the entire Harlan
Armin's
property
grip tightened
and
on the
nearby
desk.
woods,
217,
remains were ever
Heine
found.
said. The screen glitched.
Gregory insisted she
just for a
died
second.
quietly in her bed.
And once you're inside,
She held
the video
Lily's hand,
cut.
he said.
Abrupt.
I buried
Silence
her
filled the room.
beneath the trees.
Sadia spoke
I
first.
just don't remember
Inside
where.
what?
I was
Armin
too broken.
didn't answer.
A memorial
because
was
he
erected
already
on the
knew.
property.
Or at
7
least,
stones in a circle.
he had a terrible feeling.
One for each
He
victim.
closed the laptop slowly,
One
stood
stone
still,
remained blank,
thinking.
carved
Because
only
now,
with the initials
this wasn't
RH.
just about finding
Lily
Heine.
attended the ceremony.
It was about understanding what
She
took
held
her,
a sunflower
and
in
whether
one hand,
it could
and
happen
one of
again.
Rosie's notebooks in
As
the
Armin
other.
turned to leave,
She
something
didn't speak,
stopped him.
But
A
when
thought.
the wind rustled
Sharp.
the trees,
Clear.
she smiled.
He turned back to the laptop.
The Harlan
opened the video
farmhouse
again,
was scheduled for
paused it,
demolition.
right before
Too many
the glitch,
bodies,
zoomed
too
in,
many memories,
and there,
too much
in the
darkness
reflection behind
soaked into
Heine,
its foundations.
in the dark glass of her window,
After
there
multiple
was someone standing
exhumations,
behind her,
arrests, and media
watching.
storms,
the same
the
shape,
county deemed it
the same presence.
unsalvageable.
From the motel
But
hallway,
before the wrecking crews
Armin's
moved
blood
in,
ran cold.
Detective
Because
Ellen
this
Glass
meant one
received
thing.
one final
It
request
didn't start at the motel.
from Lily
It
Beck.
followed her there.
She
There are
wanted to go
moments
back,
in an investigation
not alone,
where logic
and not
starts
for
to
long,
crack, not
just
break,
long enough to stand
not
in the
collapse.
place she once
Just
thought was the entire
bend.
world.
Armin felt it the entire drive
Glass
back
arranged
to the
for a
Silver
quiet,
Crescent
supervised
motel.
visit.
That subtle
No
shift,
cameras, no press,
that quiet unease,
only Lily,
because for
two
the first
caseworkers,
time in years,
and Glass herself.
he wasn't sure what he was walking
Returning
into.
to the room,
The motel looked different at night.
the door to the
Smaller,
hidden room had been removed
darker,
and stored as
more
evidence.
isolated. The
Now,
neon sign
the gaping
flickered
square
weakly,
in the living room
casting
floor
brief
stood
flashes
exposed.
of red across the empty
A
parking
narrow
lot.
wooden stairwell
Room
descended
number
into
6 sat
still
at the
air,
far end,
heavy with mildew
same as
and
before,
memory.
waiting.
Lily stood at the
Rashid
top
stood
of the steps,
outside,
trembling.
arms folded tightly.
Glass
He looked
offered her a
relieved
hand.
to see Armin. Too
You don't
relieved.
have to go down.
You came back, Rashid
Lily
said
did.
quickly.
She
Armin
descended
nodded.
one step at a
What's
time.
the update?
Her knuckles white
Rashid
against the
hesitated.
handrail.
Then,
When she reached
nothing's
the room,
changed.
she stopped in the doorway.
Armin studied him.
Her eyes
Nothing.
scanned the place she had
Rashid
once
swallowed.
lived.
Except
The pink
one
walls
thing.
now stripped of wallpaper.
Armin didn't like the sound
The
of
bed
that.
frame rusted.
What?
The air heavy
Rashid
with
glanced
rot.
toward room number 6.
She walked
Then back.
slowly to the corner
The
near
power
the
cut out
bookshelf
earlier,
and knelt.
he said. Armin
With a
frowned.
shaking finger,
For how long?
she traced a faint line
2
on
minutes.
the wall.
A
L
pause.
plus R
From
equals
217
sunlight,
to 219.
it read.
The air seemed to
Lily
tighten.
closed her eyes.
Armin didn't respond
remembered.
immediately. Because
The
now,
secrets of the
the
floor
pattern
before
wasn't just in
demolition.
Heine's research.
Ellen requested
It
one
was here,
final ground scan
real.
beneath the secret
Anyone
room's
inside the
foundation.
room at the time?
She
Armin
had a hunch.
asked.
Rosie's
Rashid shook
body
his
hadn't
head
been
quickly.
found above or
No,
in the woods.
sir. We sealed
But
it
what if
after your
Gregory,
visit.
scared of discovery,
Armin nodded slowly.
buried her beneath
Good.
the place she loved
Because
most?
tonight, he was
The
going
place she
inside.
believed Lily might
By
one day escape
1:45
from.
a.m. Everything was ready.
This time,
2
they
officers
scanned
stationed
deeper,
outside.
past
One
the
monitoring
false
the
base,
hallway cameras.
and below the concrete
Rashid waiting
piers.
near the stairs.
The
and
radar
Armin,
beeped.
inside room number
6 feet
6.
below the northwest
alone.
corner of the
The
hidden
door
room.
closed behind him
There
with
was
a
a
dull
cavity.
click. The room felt
The crew
colder than
excavated
before.
carefully,
Not dramatically,
and within 2 hours,
but enough to notice.
unearthed a small
He checked
wooden
his watch.
box wrapped in
1:52 a.m.
plastic.
25
Inside were
minutes.
fabric remnants,
He moved through
a
the
gold
room
necklace,
slowly.
and skeletal
Everything was
remains.
exactly as they left it.
Dental records,
bed untouched.
matched against
The bag
Rosie's
still in
childhood
place.
dental visits
The
from
bathroom,
1977.
Waiting. Armin
confirmed
sat
the
in the
truth.
chair near the table.
Rosie
facing
Harlan
the door.
had been found.
The receipt still lay in
The
evidence
news breaks
packaging.
again.
The words burned into his
The
memory.
media swarmed once
Stayed.
more.
He exhaled
Final
slowly.
victim of the Harlan
This is
family
just a
discovered
case,
beneath
he
secret
muttered
room,
to himself.
blared across
But
national
the words
headlines.
felt weaker now.
News
Because
vans
cases
crowded
don't
the
revolve
property for
around
days.
specific times.
Everyone wanted the
Cases
image.
don't repeat patterns
the angel
like
of
rituals.
the floor.
Cases
the girl
don't
who had
watch you back.
sacrificed her life to shield
2:03
her
a.m.
sister.
The silence deepened.
Rosie's photo,
Even the faint
red
hum
hair,
of electricity
gap-toothed
seemed
smile,
to fade.
became iconic.
Armin's eyes drifted to the
People
bathroom.
demanded justice,
The door was
memorials,
closed now.
documentaries.
He didn't remember closing it.
Glass ignored
His
them
body
all.
tensed.
She
Slowly,
wasn't interested in
he
selling a
stood,
story.
Walked toward it.
She was interested
Each step
in
felt
finishing
heavier. The air.
The final
thicker.
charges with
He
Rosie's
reached the
remains
door.
recovered.
Paused.
The prosecution
pushed
had
it
its
open.
final nail.
The light flickered on.
Combined with
Everything
diaries,
looked the same.
photos, forensic
blood,
evidence,
the
and
sink,
Lily's testimony,
the mirror.
even limited.
But the crack,
the case
it had
against Sarah
spread,
Harlan became
not
airtight.
dramatically, But
she was
enough.
charged with
Enough to prove
5 counts
it
of
was
first-degree
changing.
murder,
Almond
2
stepped
counts
closer.
of kidnapping,
His
and
reflection
unlawful
stared
imprisonment,
back at him, tired,
conspiracy to cover
focused,
up child abuse
and then
deaths,
it blinked.
accessory
But he
to
didn't.
murder in the deaths
Almond
of David,
stumbled back,
Maya, and
heart
Rosie
pounding.
Charles Lenning.
No,
Her
he
husband
whispered.
and former officer
That wasn't possible.
was charged
But
with
when he looked
conspiracy,
again,
obstruction
the
of
reflection
justice,
was normal.
and tampering with
Still,
evidence.
silent.
He pled not
He
guilty.
stepped out of the bathroom quickly.
But after just 2 weeks
closed
in
the
county
door,
jail,
checked his watch.
he was found dead by
2:11
suicide
a.m.
in his cell.
6 minutes.
His
The
final
temperature
note read,
dropped further.
I told
Now it was
myself I
undeniable.
didn't know.
Almond's breath
But I
became
knew.
faintly visible.
Rosie's
The light
room
above flickered
reconstructed.
once, then steadied.
In the months
From the
following
hallway,
the trial,
a sound,
a group of trauma
footstep.
therapists, survivors,
turned
and child
sharply.
advocacy
The door,
workers
still
launched a
closed.
project in Rosie's
Another
honor.
step. Slow,
They called it
measured,
the Hidden Room Project.
moving toward room number
a
6.
touring installation
Almond
designed
approached
to
the door
replicate
quietly.
the room Rosie lived
Pressed
in,
his ear against
based on
it.
crime scene
The
photos
footsteps
and
stopped.
diary entries.
Right outside.
But with one key
Silence.
difference.
Then,
Visitors
a
exit
knock.
through a door
3
Rosie
slow
never
taps.
had.
Almond's
One
hand
marked
hovered
with
over the
sunlight.
handle. Who is it?
The exhibit
he
served
called.
2 purposes.
No response.
Education,
Another knock. 3
highlighting the
taps.
dangers of
Almond
isolation,
opened the door.
the flaws
The
in the
hallway was
child
empty.
welfare system,
Completely.
and the importance
No
of
offices.
investigating missing
No
children
Rashid.
thoroughly.
No one. Just the dim
Memorial,
lights. And the long
honoring
stretch
Rosie,
of doors.
David, and the
He
others
stepped out.
who didn't survive.
Rashid, he called.
Lily
No
was
answer.
present at the
The
ribbon
hallway
cutting
felt
in
wrong.
Kalamazoo.
Longer than before.
She
Too
stood
long.
silently as a
Almond
choir
turned
of
back
children
toward
sang
room number
Rosie's
6
favorite song.
and froze. Because
You
the
are my
number on the
sunshine.
door wasn't 6
She
anymore.
cried.
It
And
read
for the first time,
217.
she didn't hide it.
A cold wave rushed
The
through
house
him.
falls on
No,
a cold,
he whispered.
overcast morning.
This wasn't real.
Bulldozers arrived at the
couldn't be.
Harlan property.
But the deeper he looked,
Lily
the
didn't
more the
attend,
hallway changed.
but she asked
The
Glass to
lights
bring her a
dimmed
piece
further.
of the door.
The walls stretched,
Just a sliver.
and the silence.
A reminder that
became
she had
absolute.
lived and
Almond
escaped
turned,
and
trying
survived
to retrace his
as
steps.
the first wall crumbled.
But room number 6
a burst of dust
was gone.
shot upward.
Every door
like
now
a
read the
spirit
same number.
breaking free.
217.
The last thing to
Repeated,
fall was the secret
endlessly.
room's foundation,
The sound returned.
and with it,
Footsteps.
the final remnant
But this
of what
time,
had once been
behind
Rosie's
him,
prison
Almond spun
and
around.
Lily's cradle.
And finally,
A new
saw
life
it.
Lily Beck
a figure,
began therapy in
standing
earnest
at the
after
far
that.
end of the hallway.
With
Tall,
professional help,
still,
her memory slowly
unmoving.
returned,
Its face,
fragment by
impossible to see. But its
She remembered
presence,
a birthday.
overwhelming.
She remembered
Almond's
Rosie teaching her
instincts
to
screamed
read
at
with
him to
picture
run.
books.
But his body
She remembered pretending the
move
ceiling vent was a
because
window
the
to the
figure
stars.
was watching him.
But most of all,
And then,
she
it
remembered
took a
feeling
step
loved,
forward.
not
The
by her
lights flickered
parents,
violently.
not by
The
Sarah,
walls seemed to breathe.
but by Rosie.
The air
Fiercely,
collapsed inward. Almond
unconditionally.
staggered back. And suddenly,
She began writing,
everything went dark.
first with assistance,
When the lights returned,
then on her own.
Almond was back
Her
inside
memoir,
room number 6,
Rosie's Light,
alone.
would go on
The
to
door
become
closed.
a bestseller.
The room silent.
She ended it
He
with
checked
the
his
same
watch.
words Rosie spoke on the
2:19
final
a.m.
tape.
2 minutes.
Maybe someone
Exactly.
finally cared enough to
The
look.
same window. Almond's
Just when
hands
Detective
trembled
Ellen
slightly.
Glass thought the case
But his
had reached
mind
its conclusion,
was clearer than ever.
a call came
because
from the
now,
evidence archives.
He knew. This
A
wasn't a
box,
place.
misfiled,
It was a moment.
mislabeled,
A gap.
nearly discarded,
And Heine
had been
had
found
stepped
in the
into
basement
it.
of the county
The question
sheriff's
was,
office.
did she go
It
willingly?
had been retrieved
Oh,
during the original
was she
Harlan
pulled?
property search,
As Almond turned
but had
toward
never
the
been
door,
properly cataloged.
he noticed something new.
Inside
Scratched
were
into the
8
wall.
cassette tapes,
Fresh.
each
The
labeled
letters
with only a
uneven.
date.
Desperate.
The earliest,
and unmistakable.
February 2nd,
Help me.
1983.
Almond stared at it
The latest,
because he knew that
July 9th,
handwriting.
1991.
He had seen it before. On the
Glass
files.
ordered a secure
on the
playback
notes.
setup in the
Heine
forensic
colored,
media room.
which meant
The contents,
she wasn't gone.
suspected, might
She was
be
still
grim,
inside.
but they
And
could
whatever
also
that
be
place
vital.
was, it
What
wasn't
they
finished
revealed
with her.
changed everything.
Or him.
Again.
There's a difference between seeing
Tape 1.
something and understanding it.
Instructions.
Almond had seen the
The
hallway.
first tape was
the
purely
doors,
audio.
The number
A man's
repeating,
voice,
the
low,
figure,
firm,
but
eerily
understanding
calm,
That
spoke
came
into
later.
the recorder.
And sometimes,
This will serve as
understanding
proof
is
of
worse.
instruction.
by morning,
The girl will
the
remain
motel was
downstairs
sealed.
until she learns.
Police tape stretched
You are not
across
to
the
engage
stairwell.
unless necessary.
Officers stationed at every
Sarah,
entrance.
this is your duty.
Room number 6
You are
locked
the
down
strong one.
completely. No guests allowed
Glass
near that
froze.
wing.
The
No
voice
one in.
belonged to Walter
No one
Harlan,
out.
the
But
family
Almond didn't
patriarch.
leave. He couldn't.
Rosie must be
because the
broken of
moment
her
he
will.
stepped out of that room,
She speaks too much.
he knew something had
She
followed
asks
him.
too much.
Not physically,
If she is to be of use,
but mentally,
she must obey.
like a door had opened
There
somewhere
was no remorse,
and never fully
no
closed.
conflict.
He stood
Just
inside the
cold
manager's
doctrine.
office. The same
It was clear
flickering
now.
monitor. The same
Rosie's
static heavy
imprisonment
footage.
wasn't a spontaneous
But this
act
time,
of abuse.
he wasn't just
It was
watching.
systematic and
He was
carefully
analyzing.
constructed.
Play Play it again.
A belief system
he said.
rooted in dominance,
Rashid
control,
hesitated.
and religious
Sir,
extremism.
you've already seen it.
Tape
Play
2.
it.
Disobedience.
Rashid obeyed. The footage
The next
rolled.
recording was from 3
2:16
months
a.m.
later.
Empty
scuffle,
hallway.
muffled cries.
2:17 a.m.
Then a young girl's
flicker,
voice,
the
Rosie's,
distortion,
trying to reason.
the impossible
I'm
silhouette.
sorry. I
Armin
just wanted
leaned
to see the
closer.
sky.
Pause.
Please, I'll be good.
The screen froze.
Then came a slap.
The figure stood there.
A woman's voice,
mid-frame,
sharp and cold.
unnatural.
Sarah,
Zoom in. Armin
you don't
said.
get to make wishes.
Rashid adjusted
You're
the
a
image.
sinner.
Pixelated.
You stay here until you're
blurry,
fixed.
but clearer.
The tape
And
ended
that's
with
when
the
Armin
sound
saw
of
it.
Rosie
The
softly
figure
singing to herself.
wasn't alone.
The same
Behind
lullaby.
it, faint,
Glass clenched
almost
her fists.
invisible,
Every
shapes,
inch of this case
multiple,
revealed deeper
standing
evil.
still,
Tape
watching.
3.
Rashid's voice
Arrival.
shook. How many
This
are there?
recording was the most
Armin
disturbing
didn't
so
answer.
far.
Because the
Footsteps
number
echoed
didn't
on
matter.
wooden stairs.
What
A
mattered
baby crying.
was what they were doing.
Then Sarah's voice
Waiting.
hushed.
Rewind,
Shh.
Armin said.
Shh.
The
I
footage
know.
jumped back.
It's cold down
2
here.
hours, 16
She'll
minutes,
take
and
care of you.
58 seconds.
Rosie knows what
Play
to do.
slowly. The
Then
seconds
Rosie,
ticked
her
forward.
voice much older now.
2
shouted,
hours, 16 minutes,
Who
and
is she?
59 seconds.
Your sister.
Then,
Her name's
2
Lily.
hours and 17 minutes.
Don't let her forget who you
The
are.
flicker began.
The crying
But this
continued.
time, Armin
Rosie.
saw something new.
What am I
The
supposed
hallway
to do?
didn't just distort.
Sarah,
It shifted.
be her mother.
Like two images
she dies.
overlapping. Two versions
The
of the
tape
same
clicked
place.
off.
Trying to
Tape
exist
4.
at once.
Visitors.
One normal. And one
Glass's eyes narrowed
wrong.
as she played the
That's
fourth
it,
tape.
Armin whispered.
This one included
Rashid
a voice
looked
she
at him.
recognized.
What?
A child welfare
Armin
officer from
straightened.
the 1980s.
It's not a disappearance.
Glass
A
pulled old
pause.
records and
It's a
confirmed it.
transition.
James
Rashid
Mead,
frowned.
who had conducted a
I don't
welfare
understand.
check on the Harlan property
Armin
in
turned to him.
1986.
There are
after a
two
neighbor's
versions of that
complaint about
hallway,
screaming.
he said.
But
One we
according to
see,
the records,
and one
he had
we don't.
found nothing
Rashid
suspicious.
shook his head. That's not
On the
possible.
tape, Walter Harlan
Armin's eyes
greets him
hardened.
warmly.
Neither is a
Just
locked
the
room
little ones today.
disappearance.
Gregory's
Silence
off at
filled
school.
the office.
Rosie's
Because
visiting
now,
relatives.
there was no denying it.
The man's voice
Something
was
existed
casual,
inside
distracted.
that motel.
There were no
That
sounds
shouldn't.
of searching.
By afternoon,
coffee being
Armin had
poured.
gathered everything.
Then Walter,
Heine's
barely
research,
audible, murmurs,
old case files,
God watches
news
when
reports,
the world doesn't.
and one thing became clear.
Mead.
Every case,
That he does, Mr.
every
Harlan.
disappearance,
That he does.
followed the same pattern.
The tape ends.
Enclosed space.
The
late
pattern
night,
of protection
and
glass
always
couldn't shake the horror.
2:17 a.m.
Over the years,
there was one detail,
5 different state
hidden,
and county
buried,
employees visited
something
the
no
Harlan
one
home.
else had noticed.
All left
Until
without
now.
incident.
Armin spread
None
the files
filed
across the
follow-up
table.
reports.
Photos,
Were they coerced?
reports,
Or just lazy?
timelines.
Or
Then,
worse,
he circled it.
complicit?
Every case had two
She launched a
timestamps.
quiet
Not
investigation
one,
into surviving
the
employees
first,
from that era.
when the person was last
What she
seen.
found was a
2:17
network of
a.m.
apathy,
The second,
reinforced by Walter's
when the system
community
recorded
power
their
and
exit.
influence.
Also,
A respected church
2:17
leader,
a.m.
he held leverage
Rashid
through
stared at the
donations,
papers.
local favors,
That's the same time.
even police endorsements.
Armin nodded slowly.
They had built a house
Exactly.
of secrets,
A pause.
and everyone helped
Which
keep
means
it standing.
Rashid's voice
Tape
dropped.
5.
They never
Escape
left.
attempt.
Armin exhaled.
This one hurt to listen
Oh.
to.
He tapped
Rosie's
the second
voice,
timestamp.
panicked,
They
panting.
left somewhere else.
She's sick.
The
She
room
has a
fell
fever.
silent.
I need medicine.
Because now,
Please, I think
the idea
she's dying.
wasn't just terrifying.
Then Sarah,
It was logical.
cold and unmoved.
There's a second door, Armin
You'll figure
said
it out.
quietly.
A pause.
Rashid blinked.
A thud.
A second door.
Then Rosie screams.
Armin nodded.
I'll get out.
You just can't
I'll
see
tell
it.
them. I swear
That
to God,
night,
I will.
They tested it.
Then silence.
Again.
The
But
tape
this
ends.
time, they
Glass
were ready.
could almost hear
3
the iron
cameras
door
inside
slamming
room number
shut.
6.
Tape 6.
2 in the hallway.
The confession.
Thermal scanners.
July
Audio
1991.
recorders. Everything
Rosie
they could
sounds
use.
weak. Her
Armin
voice is
stood
faint.
inside the room
Her
once
words
more.
slow.
But this time,
I don't have long.
he wasn't alone.
I've stopped eating.
Another officer stood
I gave
beside
Lily
him.
my soup.
Young,
I couldn't keep
nervous.
it down anyway.
You stay behind me,
She coughs.
Armin said.
If
The
someone
officer
ever
nodded.
finds this,
They checked their watches.
please don't let her grow up in here.
2:14 a.m.
I tried.
3 minutes.
I
The
tried
room
to be
was
enough.
colder than before.
I'm sorry,
Noticeably.
Lily. I'm
The
sorry
walls
I
seemed
couldn't be more.
closer. The air.
The tape hisses
thinner.
for several minutes.
2:16 a.m.
Then the last words.
The lights flickered.
I hope you
The
find
officer
the sun.
shifted uneasily.
Tape 7.
Sir, I don't
Sarah's
like
diary.
this. Armin
This
didn't
final
respond.
recording wasn't made
His
by
eyes
Rosie.
were on the door,
It was Sarah.
waiting.
She had
2:17
recorded
a.m.
herself sometime in
Everything happened
1992,
at once.
after
lights
Rosie's
died.
death and
The
before
cameras
Lily's
cut.
escape.
The air collapsed inward.
She's gone.
And the door
I buried
opened,
her with the doll.
but not outward.
The little one
inward,
doesn't understand yet.
like something on the other side.
I'll break her the way
had
I
pulled
couldn't
it.
break Rosie.
The officer
This
gasped.
time, no stories.
What the hell?
No songs.
The hallway
just
beyond
silence.
wasn't the motel.
Then she
It
whispers
was the other
something
place.
chilling.
The endless
The
corridor.
Lord cleanses
Doors
those who are
repeating.
willing.
Numbers shifting.
The others,
And the figure.
he discards.
Closer now. Watching.
Glass turned the
Armin
tape
felt
off.
it.
There was
That
no
pull.
remorse.
Like
no
gravity
regret.
had changed
Only
direction.
ideology.
Like the room itself. Was
Faith
trying to
twisted
drag
into
them
a weapon.
through. Stay back.
The missing 8th
Armin
tape.
shouted. But the officer
Only 7
didn't
tapes had
move.
been reviewed.
Because his
But
eyes
the box was
were
labeled
locked
8
on the hallway.
tapes.
And slowly,
Glass searched
he
the
stepped
evidence
forward.
locker records and
No.
found a discrepancy.
Armin grabbed him.
The 8th tape
Pulled him
had
back.
been logged.
The officer
and then
struggled.
removed.
It's calling me.
Signed out
he
by a
whispered.
former deputy in
Armin froze.
2005.
What?
He'd never
The
returned.
officer's voice wasn't his own
The
anymore.
deputy's name?
It says,
Stephen Marks.
I'm already there.
He died in
The hallway
2011.
The figure moved
But his
closer.
personal belongings,
Step by step,
boxed and stored
Armin
in
pulled
county
harder.
archives,
Snap out
had
of
never
it.
been thoroughly
The officer
catalogued.
blinked. Just for a
Glass
second,
requested access.
clarity returned.
A glimmer
Then,
of hope.
The door slammed shut.
Among the
The
old
lights
boxes
came back.
of uniforms and
The
photos,
room returned.
she found a
Normal.
plastic VHS
2:19
case.
a.m.
Inside
The
was
officer
the final
collapsed to
tape,
the floor,
unlabeled,
breathing heavily.
unmarked.
What
Glass
was
popped
that?
it into the
He
player.
gasped. Armin
The screen
didn't answer.
flickered to life.
Because now,
It showed
he knew
Lily,
the truth.
maybe 10
the
years
door
old,
didn't just open.
curled up under
It
blankets
called.
in the hidden room.
It chose.
And beside
And if
her,
you listened,
a figure
if
lay
you
motionless.
stepped too close, you
Rosie.
didn't disappear.
But
You
then,
crossed. Armin looked
movement.
at the door, then at the
Lily
wall,
stirred,
at the
climbed
words
to her
carved
knees,
there.
crawled
Help
to the
me.
vent.
And
She
for the
pressed
first
her hands
time,
to it.
he
She
understood
whispered,
what Heine meant.
I'll find
She
the
wasn't
door.
asking to be found.
And then the
She was
camera
warning
slowly
them
tilted upward,
not to come
toward a
inside,
sliver of ceiling
because
light.
once you do,
Rosie
the second
had filmed
door
it.
never
Her final
closes.
gift,
There are
proof
lines
of
in every
Lily's will to
investigation.
survive.
Lines you don't cross.
Ellen Glass
Armin had spent
solved
his entire
murders
career
before.
respecting them.
She had tracked
Evidence
serial
over
killers,
instinct.
exposed
Logic
cover-ups,
over fear.
cracked cold
Reality
cases
over
left in
imagination.
moldy cardboard
But
boxes
room number
for
6
decades.
had erased
But
those
this was
lines.
different.
Because now,
Rosie's story
the only
wasn't
way
just
forward
about one broken
was through.
family or
No,
one hidden room.
Rashid didn't hesitate
It was
this
about
time.
how many people
You're not
looked
doing
away.
this. Armin stood in the
As the
center of the
investigation
manager's
deepened,
office,
the fallout
calm,
widened.
focused.
Ellen
Too calm.
realized the Harlan
I don't have
family
a
had
choice,
succeeded not
he said.
because they were cunning,
There's always a choice.
but because the
Rashid
system
shot
let
back.
them.
Not if she's
And
still
now,
alive.
she intended to
Silence.
dismantle that system,
Because they both knew.
piece by
That
piece.
was the only thing that mattered now.
The staff
Heine
who
Colored
knew over
wasn't
40
just missing.
interviews were
She
conducted
was
with
somewhere,
former Michigan
somewhere
Child
reachable.
Protective Service
But
workers,
only
local
at
officers,
2:17,
and school
if you
officials
go in there,
from the
Rashid's
1980s
voice
and
dropped.
early 90s.
You might not come back.
At least 6
Armin
admitted
nodded.
to either,
I know.
filing
And you're still
incomplete
going.
reports,
Armin didn't
ignoring
answer.
warning signs,
Because the answer
trusting
was
Walter
already
Harlan's
clear.
good standing
By
in the
nightfall,
church and
everything was
Community
set
One.
again. But this
Marjorie
time,
Neely, now
there
in
were
her
no
late
extra
70s,
officers inside.
broke down during
No
questioning.
backup in the room. Just
I
Armin.
remember seeing
A
bruises
single
on the
camera
oldest
mounted
girl,
in the corner,
Sarah.
streaming live to the
I
office
thought
below.
maybe it was just a
And
strict
Rashid,
household.
watching,
I should have asked
waiting.
more. I
1:58
should have fought
a.m.
harder.
Armin stood inside room
Ellen
number
stared
6.
her down.
The door closed
But you
behind
didn't.
him. The silence returned.
Marjorie wept.
But it felt different
Number
now.
I didn't.
Expectant.
And now those
like the
children
room
are
knew.
bones in the
He
dirt.
checked his watch.
The foster
1:59.
system loophole state
18 minutes.
investigators found
He moved
glaring
slowly,
gaps in the foster care
memorizing
pipeline
everything.
that allowed
The bed,
Walter and Ann
the
Harlan
table,
to house children
the
like
bathroom
David
door.
DJ,
Because if he
the
didn't
earliest
come back,
known victim,
this would be the
without
last
proper
place he ever saw.
documentation.
2:10 a.m.
Old
The
records
temperature
showed that
began
in
to drop.
1971,
Faster this
a
time.
fire destroyed
More
a state
aggressive.
archive warehouse.
Armin exhaled.
Dozens of
Watched the
adoption
faint
and
mist
foster
of his
files
breath.
were lost.
Stay focused.
Several
he
children
muttered.
were then placed
2:14
informally
a.m.
with
The lights
families by
flickered.
overwhelmed caseworkers.
The walls creaked softly.
Walter
like something
Harlan had
behind them
personally signed
was
for
moving.
DJ, but no follow-ups
2:16
were
a.m.
ever made.
The air shifted.
No school records.
Pressure building.
No medical
Armin
history.
stepped closer to the
Not
door.
a single welfare
His hand
check
hovered
after
over the handle.
1973.
Whatever happens,
It was as if
he
David
said
had
it out
vanished
loud.
the moment he entered
You don't
the house.
hesitate.
The
2:17
Financial
a.m.
Trail Glass
Everything
requested all
broke.
available tax
The lights
and donation
exploded into
records
darkness.
connected to the Harlan's
The camera
church,
feed cut.
Second
The air
Elm
collapsed
Pentecostal.
inward,
A
violently,
tight-knit but
and
powerful
the door
congregation
opened,
in Kalamazoo's
not by
rural
him,
belt.
but by something else.
The church had shut
Pulling,
down in
inviting.
2002 after
The hallway
a fraud
appeared.
scandal,
Endless,
but its old records
dark,
were archived.
wrong. The doors
That's when she
stretched
found
into
it.
infinity. Each one
From
map.
1977 to
217.
1988,
The figure stood
monthly
there,
payments of
closer now,
$300 to
waiting.
$500
Armin
were made
felt
to
it
the Harlan
instantly.
family
That pull,
from a fund
that
labeled
voice,
Special Youth
not spoken,
Placement Assistance.
but heard. You're
the checks
already
were
here.
signed by Pastor
His heart
Gerald
pounded.
Rusk, a
His
fiery
instincts
preacher
screamed.
who had died
Turn
in
back.
1995.
Close the door. Run.
His sermons,
But he didn't,
stored on VHS,
because somewhere
were
in that
riddled
place,
with apocalyptic
Heine
warnings
was waiting.
about purifying
Armin
the
stepped
next
forward.
generation.
The moment his
He
foot
had been
crossed the
funneling
threshold,
church money to
world
families like the
changed.
Harlans,
the room
under
vanished.
the guise of
The
home
motel,
sanctification.
gone. Everything,
Glass murmured
gone.
aloud.
There was
they weren't
only
just
the hallway.
hiding these kids.
Cold,
They thought
silent,
they were saving them.
endless. Armin
A
turned.
cult or
The
a
door
cover?
behind him was gone.
A psychological
There was no way
profiler
back.
working with Ellen
All
posed
right,
a theory.
he whispered.
The Harlans
His voice
may not
echoed
have acted
strangely,
alone.
not outward,
Their actions,
but inward,
isolating children,
like the whole way was
brainwashing
listening.
through fear
He
and
walked,
obedience,
each step
cutting off
careful,
outside contact.
measured. The
Were
doors
cult-like.
passed by slowly.
But
all
there
identical.
had never been enough
all
members
marked.
or outside structure to call it
217.
an official cult.
Amon reached one.
Still,
Placed his hand on the
Ellen
handle.
began mapping
It
connections.
was warm. He hesitated.
Another family in Ohio,
then opened
connected
it.
to the same church,
Inside
had
was
3
room
adopted
number 6.
children vanished from
Perfectly
their
intact.
records.
Exactly as
A
he
nurse
left
in
it.
Indiana
but
claimed
empty.
she once treated a
Amon
mute
stepped
little
back,
red-headed girl
closed the door.
brought in
His
under a
pulse
fake
quickened.
name.
They are
Around
connected,
1988.
he realized. Every door
A retired mail
led
carrier
back,
remembered
but
delivering
not to
dozens
safety,
of unmarked
to a
envelopes
version of
from
the
the
same
church
place.
to special
Trapped,
households.
looped. A
Could
sound
it be
echoed
that what
behind
happened
him.
in the Harlan house
Footsteps.
was part of a broader
Slow.
system of hidden
Measured.
placements?
Amon
A
turned.
pipeline that took
figure.
vulnerable,
Closer
orphaned, or
now.
unwanted children
Still faceless.
and assigned
Still
them
silent.
to families under
But
religious
its presence,
cover. It
overwhelming.
was impossible to prove
Amon forced
fully,
himself to stay still.
but there were too many
Where is
shadows
she?
to
He
ignore.
demanded. No
Gregory's
answer.
final
The
letter.
figure took another step.
In
The
prison,
lights flickered.
Gregory Harlan
Though there
began
were no
writing
lights.
letters.
The hallway
Not to the
twisted
court,
slightly.
not to the media,
And then,
but to
something
Lily.
changed. The doors.
With her permission,
They started to
Ellen
open.
read one aloud to
one
her
by
during
one,
a supervised
down the
session.
corridor. Slowly,
Dear Lily,
creaking.
I don't
and
deserve
inside,
your forgiveness,
Amon saw them.
but I want you
People.
to know,
Dozens.
Rosie loved
standing
you
in the
more than
rooms,
anyone I've
motionless,
ever seen love anything.
Silent.
She
watching.
gave up everything
His
to
breath
protect
caught.
you.
They are
I
alive,
tried to help.
he whispered.
I didn't do
But
enough.
something felt wrong.
But she
Because none of them moved.
never gave up.
None of them blinked.
You are
none
the
of them
proof
breathed.
that she won.
They were there. But
if the
not
world ever tells
help.
you you're broken,
The voice
tell it
came
this.
from his left.
A
Faint,
girl raised in
weak.
darkness still
Amon
found
turned
the
sharply.
light.
One of the
You
doors,
are the light, Lily.
half open.
I'm
Inside,
so sorry.
a girl,
Greg.
sitting on the floor,
Lily
her
didn't
head
cry.
lowered,
She
her body
simply
trembling.
asked Ellen, "Can
Heine.
I write back?"
Amon stepped closer.
It was the first time
She
she'd
looked up
initiated
slowly,
anything on her
her
own.
face pale, her
Public
eyes hollow,
reckoning.
but alive.
By
You came, she
mid-2024,
whispered.
the case was
Relief
national
flooded through
news
him.
again.
I'm getting
A
you
wave
out,
of
he
lawsuits
said
followed.
firmly.
Former
Heine shook
social
her head.
workers were subpoenaed.
No. Amon froze.
The state of
You
Michigan
don't
faced
understand,
a class
she
action
said.
lawsuit from
Her voice
victims of
broke.
foster care abuse.
It doesn't let you leave.
The church's former
hallway
trustees
pulsed.
were
The
investigated
figure
for
stopped
financial
moving,
conspiracy.
watching.
Survivors
tried,
from other
Heine
placement
continued.
families came
I
forward.
opened the doors,
Many
all
of them
them.
bearing similar stories
Her hands
of hidden
trembled.
rooms,
They
isolation,
all lead back
and
here.
spiritual abuse.
Amon clenched his jaw.
One woman,
There
now
has to be a
52,
way.
stood
Heine's
before a
eyes
press
filled with
podium
fear.
and said,
There is.
"I thought I was the only
A
one,
pause. But you won't
but
like
Rosie's
it.
story
Amon
showed
felt
me
the
I
weight
wasn't
of those
crazy.
words instantly.
I was just hidden."
What is it? Heine
The
looked
Sunlight
past
Foundation,
him,
Lily,
at the figure,
now in therapy
then back
full-time
at him.
and working with a
You have to
ghostwriter,
replace me.
launched the Sunlight
Silence.
Foundation,
The hallway
a
seemed to stop
nonprofit
breathing.
dedicated to
Amon
investigating
stared
failed
at her.
placements,
What?
forgotten foster
Heine's
children,
voice dropped
and
to a whisper.
unregulated home adoptions.
That's how it works.
Its motto,
A tear slid down her
"No
face.
child left
It
unnamed."
takes one and lets one go.
The foundation
Amon's
quickly
chest
uncovered
tightened.
3 more
That's
children
not
missing
happening.
from state records
Heine
between
shook her head
1970
desperately.
and 1990.
You don't have a choice.
All from Michigan,
The figure moved again.
all with ties to
Closer.
closed churches.
You crossed the door, she said.
One girl,
It's
Angela
already
M.,
decided.
was found alive in
Amon stepped back.
2025,
No,
living under a
but
false
deep
name
down,
in northern Wisconsin.
he felt it. That pull.
She remembered Rosie.
That connection. The hallway.
She gave me her
wasn't
last
just
cookie,
a place.
Angela
It was a
whispered
system.
in a recorded
A
interview.
balance. And
She
he had
said I'd
just
get
entered
out.
it. The
I
figure
didn't believe
stopped a
her.
few feet away. For the first
Angela
time,
escaped in
it raised its
1985
hand,
by crawling
pointing
through a coal
at
chute
Amon,
during a thunderstorm.
not Heine.
Her
Amon.
story was
And
buried
in that
for
moment,
decades.
he understood.
Now she too
the door
would be
hadn't
heard.
opened for her. It had
Echoes,
opened for him.
The Harlan farmhouse
Rules
was
exist
gone,
for a reason.
but a
even the
3D
ones no
model
one understands.
built for evidence was
Amon
displayed
had spent
at the
his life
Michigan
following
Museum of
rules.
Justice.
Procedure.
Visitors could
Logic.
walk through the virtual
Order.
recreation
But
of
standing
Rosie's
inside
room,
that endless
the attic,
hallway,
and even
watching
the tunnel
dozens
Lily
of
used
silent
to
people
escape.
trapped behind identical
At the end
doors,
of the exhibit,
listening to
guests
Heine's
stood
trembling
before
voice,
a wall of names.
he realized something.
David DJ,
Rules only
Maya
matter
Carter,
if you
Timothy
accept them.
Lasker,
And
Angela
Amon
White,
didn't.
Emily Stanton, Rosie
His voice
Harlan.
was steady,
And now,
unshaken.
Angela
Heine
M.,
stared at
one
him,
plaque read,
eyes wide.
"They were
You
hidden,
don't understand,
but not
she
forgotten."
whispered. I understand
next to
enough,
A
Amon
small
replied.
note in Rosie's
He stepped
handwriting,
forward,
preserved from her
positioning
diary.
himself between her
If
and
you
the figure.
find this,
I'm not replacing
tell them
you,
I was real.
he said. The hallway reacted
Despite
instantly.
the mounting evidence,
The lights,
growing media
if they
frenzy,
could be
and
called that,
national outrage,
flickered violently.
one part of the,
The
Harlan
walls
story
shifted.
remained
The
elusive.
doors trembled.
What
Like the
happened
place
in
itself.
the final weeks before
Didn't
Rosie
like his
died?
answer. Heine's voice cracked.
The diaries ended
It doesn't
abruptly.
work like that.
The tapes
Then
grew
we make
fewer,
it work,
and
Amon
Rosie's
said.
remains,
The figure
while
moved.
found,
Closer.
gave little forensic
Its shape
insight
bending
beyond
unnaturally
severe
as it
malnutrition
approached.
and bone
Not walking,
deterioration.
sliding,
So much
gliding
of her
across
life
the
had been
floor.
documented in
Without
whispers,
sound,
faint
Amon felt
singing,
the pressure
scribbled
increase,
lines,
like gravity had
memories
shifted
sealed
again,
behind drywall.
like the hallway was trying to
But the
force
last
him
days
down. But he held his
shadows.
ground, You said it
until
takes
a
one and
janitor
lets
from
one
the
go.
courthouse made a
He said,
discovery.
eyes fixed on
The
Heine.
black box
She nodded
in a dusty
weakly.
supply closet
That means
beneath
there's
the
a
Kalamazoo
system.
County Archives
A
building,
pause.
behind
And
a
every
false wall
system can
panel.
break.
A maintenance
figure
worker
stopped.
named Ron Holloway
Right in front of them
found a
now.
locked briefcase.
Close enough.
It had
That
no
almond
label.
could almost make out its
No key.
face. But not quite.
He almost threw it
because
away
its features
until he
didn't
shook
stay
it
still.
and heard something
They
rattle
shifted.
inside.
Like it didn't have one identity.
The sheriff's
But
department
many.
took possession
Almond's
and
chest
cracked it
tightened.
open.
What are you?
Inside
he
was a
demanded.
digital high-8
The figure didn't
camcorder.
answer. But
Along
something
with
changed.
it, one final
the doors
tape
around
labeled
them opened wider.
1991,
and the people
Our
inside
Age, Do Not
moved.
Destroy.
Not much.
Rosie's
Just
final
enough.
film.
Their
The
heads
video was
turned,
grainy,
all at
and
once,
the battery almost dead.
toward Armin.
But when
Heine
Glass
gasped.
viewed it,
They
in
never
a
do
sealed
that,
room with no
she whispered.
reporters, no
Armin
agents,
ignored it.
no noise.
His mind was working.
The entire course
Fast.
of the investigation
If this place
changed.
was a system, then it
Rosie
had rules.
had recorded herself.
If it had rules,
not secretly,
it had structure.
not hurriedly,
And if it had structure,
but deliberately.
it had a weakness. What happens
sat
if
on the
no one
bed,
replaces anyone?
the same bed where her
Armin
bones would
asked.
later be found.
Heine shook her head quickly.
She was thinner than before.
I don't know. I
Her
never
hair hung
tried.
limp over her
The
shoulders.
figure tilted its
Her
head,
lips were cracked,
watching him,
but her eyes
studying him,
still defiant,
like it understood the
still
question.
alive.
Let's find out, Armin
If you're
said.
watching this,
He moved
I guess
suddenly,
you found me.
grabbing
or what's
Heine's
left of
arm,
me.
pulling her
She
out of
coughed.
the room.
This
Wait,
is my truth.
she cried.
No lies.
But he didn't
no
stop.
whispers.
He
Just
dragged
me.
her into the hallway,
The confession.
away from the door,
Rosie spoke
away
slowly,
from the pattern.
clearly.
The moment
she
she
began
crossed
by
the
naming
threshold,
every child she remembered.
everything changed.
One by one.
The hallway
David,
convulsed.
Maya, Timothy,
The doors
Angela,
slammed
Emily,
violently.
Lily.
The lights flickered out.
She told their
then
stories
back
as best
on.
she could.
The figure reacted.
How each came into the house,
for the first
what they
time.
were like, and how they
It
suffered.
stepped back,
Then
not
she spoke
forward.
about Sarah.
Back. Heine stumbled
Sarah
beside
said we
him.
were sinners.
What did you do?
That God
she
wanted us
shouted.
broken.
Armin didn't
She said
answer.
pain was how we
because
paid
now,
for being born.
he saw it. The
I tried to
system wasn't
protect them.
designed for this.
I really did.
It expected
But I
people
wasn't
to
strong
stay
enough.
inside the rooms,
Except for
to
Lily.
follow the pattern.
She smiled
But Heine
weakly.
was no longer
she still
part of
believes
it.
in stars.
Stay with me, Armin said.
The
They
turning
moved
point.
together, step by
Then
step,
Rosie said something
down the
Glass
hallway.
hadn't
The
expected.
figure followed,
I
but
lied to
slower now.
Sarah.
Hesitant,
She thought
like
I was
it wasn't
dying
sure
faster
how to
than I
respond.
was.
The
So I
doors
faked the
began to
shaking,
open again.
the coughing.
But this
I
time,
made my voice
the
hoarse.
people inside stepped out,
I wanted her
one
to
by
stop
one,
watching so closely.
silent, watching,
And it worked.
surrounding them. Heine's
Sarah
grip
stopped
tightened.
feeding Rosie.
Armin, she
Thought
whispered.
she was near death.
I know, he
Shifted
said.
her attention.
His heart was racing now,
Rosie
because
used
this wasn't
that time
part of
to
the
coach
plan.
Lily.
But it confirmed
I
something.
told her how to find the
The
tunnel
system
behind
was
the dresser.
reacting,
I
adapting,
told her to listen for
trying
wind.
to restore balance.
I told her not to
Keep
cry,
moving,
no matter
he
what.
said. They pushed
And
forward.
then I told her something I
through the
never
crowd.
said out loud before.
The people didn't touch them,
She looked
didn't
into the
speak.
camera.
but their presence
I loved her.
closed in, like walls.
The last goodbye.
The hallway stretched, longer,
The tape ended with
further.
Rosie placing the
The
camera
exit,
on the floor and
if there
walking
even was
slowly
one.
to the wall.
nowhere in sight.
There she wrote
Heine's
a final
voice
message in
trembled.
chalk.
There's no end.
Tell the truth.
There is,
Don't
Armin
look
said.
away.
There has
Not
to
this
be.
time.
The figure moved
Then
again.
she lay down.
Faster now.
Not in defeat.
Closing the distance.
In peace.
The air thickened.
The hidden file.
The walls twisted. Reality
also inside
itself
the briefcase was a
began to
USB
break.
drive.
Armin
It
stopped
contained
suddenly.
scanned documents.
Heine nearly
Files
collided
Glass
with him.
recognized
What are you
immediately as
doing?
internal
She
police
cried.
memos from
Armin
1983.
turned. Faced the
One
figure.
in particular made
Faced
her go
the system.
cold.
You want
2.
balance, he said.
Deputy Charles
His
Lenning
voice
from
steady.
Sergeant
Then
Howard
take me.
Ellison. You are to
Heine's
drop the
eyes
Harlan
widened.
follow-up.
No.
They've got eyes on the board.
But Armin didn't look
and the
at
Reverend
her.
says it's a
He
sacred
kept his eyes
matter.
on the figure.
Burn the notes.
But she goes free.
This stays
he
buried.
finished. The hallway
So
fell
it had been
silent.
systemic.
Completely.
The
The
silencing
people
wasn't
stopped
lazy.
moving.
It was
The doors
intentional.
froze. Everything
Lily's voice.
paused. The
When
figure
Lily
stepped
was shown
closer,
the final tape,
right in front of
she
him
didn't
now.
cry.
Close enough
She placed her hand
that
on the
Armin
screen
could feel
and
its
whispered.
presence inside his mind.
She didn't say goodbye.
Cold,
She
endless,
said, "Tell the truth."
and then, for the first time,
It was the longest
spoke,
sentence she'd
not
spoken
with a
all
voice,
year.
but directly,
With her therapist,
inside his
she
head.
began recording
One
audio
must stay.
journals. Not
Armin
to
didn't
remember,
flinch.
but to testify.
I know. Heine
She
grabbed
gave
his arm.
permission for one of
Don't
them
do this,
to be played at
she
Sarah
begged.
Harlan's trial.
But he gently pulled away.
The trial.
This is the only way.
In the summer
The
of
figure
2025,
raised its hand again,
Sarah
pointing
Harlan
at him.
stood before the
The
court.
hallway pulsed.
Pale,
The system.
gaunt, her white
accepting.
hair pinned up like
But
a
then,
shell of her former
something
self.
unexpected happened.
The trial
Heine
lasted 4
stepped
weeks.
forward. No,
Dozens of
she
witnesses
said.
testified.
Armin turned
The
sharply.
tapes were played.
Heine,
The dollhouse
but
was
she
presented.
shook her head.
The room
You don't
was
get to
reconstructed
decide
in
this
photos.
alone.
And
The
then the
figure
jury
shifted.
heard Lily's recording.
Uncertain.
Her
Because
voice,
now,
still
the
childlike.
system had a problem.
described the walls,
Two willing
the
participants.
hunger, the
Two
lullabies,
choices.
and
And
Rosie's
no clear
final
rule
days.
for what happens next.
When the
The
recording
hallway
ended,
trembled violently.
silence filled
The
the
doors
courtroom.
burst open.
Even
The
the
people
bailiff
stepped
cried.
forward, closer.
The verdict
The
on
figure
September
flickered,
2nd,
glitching,
2025,
breaking, Armin
jury
realized
returned.
it instantly.
Guilty
We confused
on
it,
all counts.
he whispered. Heine looked at
Sarah
him.
was sentenced to
What?
7 consecutive
The
life
system
sentences
doesn't know what to
without
do.
parole.
And in that
She
moment,
showed no emotion.
for the first time,
But as she was led
the
away,
balance
she
broke.
turned back and muttered
The hallway
one word.
cracked, like glass under
Unclean.
pressure. The doors shattered.
Ellen Glass
The people
turned her back on her.
vanished.
She
The
had
figure
no interest
screamed.
in monsters
A sound
clinging
that
to
didn't
false
belong
faith.
in any world.
The
And
legacy
everything
grows. Rosie's
collapsed
final message,
into darkness.
"Don't look away,"
Darkness didn't
became a
feel like
rallying
darkness.
cry.
Not
It
here.
was printed on
It
T-shirts,
wasn't the absence of
murals,
light.
protest signs,
It was the absence of
advocacy
everything.
handbooks.
No sound.
The Sunlight
No
Foundation
space.
saw a
No time.
300% increase
Just
in volunteer
nothing.
investigators.
Armin became aware
And
slowly.
Lily?
Not waking.
She spoke at a
Not
children's
exactly.
justice summit in
More like
Chicago.
remembering
Her
he
final
existed.
words,
The first thing
"I
he
was
felt
raised in darkness."
was the cold.
But
Not
darkness
sharp.
didn't raise
Not
me.
painful.
Rosie
just
did.
endless.
By fall
Then
of
came the ground
2025,
beneath him.
the legal
Solid.
battle had ended.
But barely. Like
Sarah
it wasn't
Harlan
fully
was
there.
imprisoned.
Armin opened his
The
eyes.
Harlan name, once
for a
shielded
moment,
by community
He
reverence,
thought he had gone blind.
had become synonymous
because
with
everything was
generational
white.
evil.
Not bright. Not
Rosie's
glowing.
story had made
Just
global headlines,
blank.
inspiring
A horizon
reform,
that stretched
investigations,
forever. With no
and a
sky.
reckoning.
No earth.
But Detective
No
Ellen
direction.
Glass couldn't rest.
Armin pushed himself up slowly.
Something still gnawed
His body
at her.
responded. That
There
was
was
something.
a name Rosie
He
mentioned
looked
in her
around.
diary.
Nothing.
Maya.
No doors.
A
No
girl
hallway.
said to have lived in
No
the house
motel.
only a few months.
No figure.
Yet
Just
there were
that
no
endless
records,
white void.
no body,
Heine,
no
he
clue
called
where
out.
she had gone.
His voice didn't echo.
All the other
It
children's
didn't travel
remains
at
had
all.
been accounted for,
It just
except
stopped.
hers.
A shape
The
moved
hint
in the distance.
in the garden.
Armin's pulse jumped.
One day,
Heine.
while reviewing the digital
He moved
model of
toward
the
it
farmhouse
quickly.
for a museum
Each
exhibit,
step felt strange,
Glass noticed something
like walking
strange,
through something
a
invisible.
discrepancy in the satellite imagery
Heavy.
from
The shape
1984
became clearer.
compared to more
A person.
recent drone footage.
Sitting. Still.
A cluster of
It was
trees
her.
that had been alive
Heine
in the
colored.
1980s,
She didn't look up
just
as he
behind
approached.
the old barn,
Didn't react.
had all died off
Didn't
by
move.
the late 2000s.
Heine, Armin said, softer
Arborists
now.
had speculated
Nothing.
about blight
He
or
knelt
drought,
beside her,
but
placed
Glass
a
saw
hand on her
pattern.
shoulder. Cold.
The trees had formed
Too
a perfect
cold.
circle,
Heine.
a ring.
Her
of
eyes
rot.
opened slowly.
The orchard that
And for a
wasn't
moment,
she assembled
weren't
a
hers.
team and
They
returned
were
to
empty.
the Harlan property,
Completely.
now
Then,
state-owned and sealed for
focused.
preservation.
Recognition
They
returned.
brought cadaver dogs.
Armin, she whispered.
One dog stopped,
Relief hit him like
then
a wave.
another.
Yeah,
At the base of a
it's
twisted
me.
apple tree.
She blinked slowly.
Digging began
Looked
immediately.
around. Her expression
Within a
changed.
few hours, they
From
hit
confusion
wood, and beneath
fear.
that, bones.
Where are we? She asked.
Maya had been
Armin
buried
shook his
standing
head.
upright,
I don't know.
wrapped in a floral
But
bedsheet,
deep down,
arms
he had a
folded over
feeling.
her chest.
This wasn't another
Her
part
skull
of the
was
system.
cracked.
This was
The
beyond
most
it.
chilling detail,
Heine tried to stand.
she was holding
Her legs
something in
trembled.
her hands.
Armin
A
helped her
photo
up.
of Sarah
She
as a
leaned on him
teenager,
slightly.
with the
It's
words,
different,
"You
she
promised,"
said quietly.
scribbled in
What
red
is?
crayon on the back.
She looked around again.
The forgotten
The
girl
silence.
Maya Carter had been
Armin
removed
frowned.
from her mother's custody
What about
in
it?
1982
Heine swallowed.
following reports of
It's
abuse.
not empty.
She'd
A
been
pause.
placed in emergency
It's
housing.
watching.
Paperwork
Armin's grip
incomplete,
tightened slightly.
and then
He didn't like that.
lost.
Not at all. They started
Her
walking.
birth mother died by
No
overdose
direction.
in 1984.
No destination.
There was
just
no one
movement.
left to look for her.
Because standing still.
Rosie
felt
had written
worse.
about her once.
Minutes passed.
Maya
Or
smiled
hours.
even when it hurt.
There was no way to tell.
She said Sarah
Time
was her
didn't
angel.
exist here.
I told
Then,
her angels don't
something
lock
appeared.
doors.
Far ahead.
And now,
A shape.
Maya was
Dark.
found.
Against the
43
white.
years too late.
Armin slowed.
Her
What is
body
that?
was exhumed with care
Heine whispered.
and buried
I don't
next to
know.
Rosie in a new
But they
memorial
kept
garden
moving.
behind the museum.
Because it was the first thing.
Visitors left
That
paper
wasn't nothing.
sunflowers at her headstone.
As they got closer,
the
the shape
anonymous
became
envelope
clearer.
weeks later,
A door.
Glass
Standing
received
alone.
an envelope,
No walls.
no return
No frame.
address.
Just a door.
Inside
Old.
was a photograph,
Wooden.
a group
familiar.
of children sitting
Armin's
on a
breath
worn
caught.
wooden floor.
Room number
At
6.
the center was Rosie,
Heine froze.
holding a younger Lily.
No. But it
Maya
was.
stood behind them.
The same scratches.
David crouched
The same
at the
worn
side.
surface.
The
The
photo
same
was
door.
decades
That
old.
started everything.
On the back,
Don't open
a
it,
handwritten
Heine
message.
said quickly.
There were
Armin
more.
didn't respond.
Glass's
Because
heart
something
pounded.
felt different.
She called in
The door
every archivist,
wasn't
digital
pulling.
forensic
Wasn't
analyst, and
calling.
photographic expert
It was
she
waiting.
knew.
For what?
Together,
He murmured.
they enhanced the
Heine
photo.
shook her head. This
In
is
the
wrong.
background,
We
half
shouldn't be
shadowed,
here.
stood two
Armin
other
stepped
children,
closer.
a
Slowly.
boy and a girl.
Carefully. He
Unnamed,
reached out.
unknown.
His hand hovered over the handle.
Glass had never
This
seen
might
them
be the way
before.
out, he
A
said.
secret network?
Or the way back, Heine
She
replied.
reviewed all state
A
placements
pause.
from
Armin looked
1975
at her.
to 1985.
If we don't try.
Cross-referenced
we stay here
every
forever,
missing child
she finished.
with ties to religious
Silence.
foster homes
Because
or
they both
unlicensed
knew.
adoptions.
That was the real fear.
She searched
Not the
through
whole way.
closed churches
Not the
and
figure.
defunct youth
But
programs.
this. Endless
The
nothing.
trail led her to a
Almond took
small
a breath.
abandoned church
Then,
in western
he
Pennsylvania.
opened the door.
There,
Darkness.
in the rubble
Not the
of a
void.
collapsed prayer hall,
Not the white.
she found
Something
something
else.
horrifying.
Deeper. He stepped
A
back
wooden chest
instinctively.
identical to the
What
one
is it?
David had been buried in.
Einar asked.
Inside,
Armin didn't answer.
a child's
Because
dress,
inside the doorway,
a lock of red
he
hair,
saw movement.
and a photograph.
Shadows. Dozens
Rosie
of them.
again.
And then,
But this
a
time,
voice.
she was not in
Familiar.
the Harlan house.
Help me.
This wasn't a
Einer's
single
body
house
went
of
rigid.
horrors.
That's...
It was a network.
I know,
The
Armin
reopened
said.
files
Because
by
he
winter of
recognized it too.
2025.
It was her voice.
Over 19 cold
Heine
cases
colored.
from Michigan,
But she
Ohio,
was standing
and
right
Pennsylvania
beside
were
him.
reopened.
The voice came again.
Children who had
Louder
run
this
away.
time. Please.
Records mysteriously
Armin
lost.
stepped closer,
Families
peered
told
into
to
the
move
darkness. And what he saw
Rosie's story
made
had
his
cracked
blood
open
run
a
cold.
regional conspiracy
Inside
of forgotten children,
was the hallway,
taken under
but
the
not
guise
empty.
of morality and
Every
faith,
door was open,
hidden from the
and
world,
inside each one
and in some cases
was a version of Heine.
discarded.
Dozens, hundreds,
The
all
Sunlight
trapped,
Foundation
all
expanded
calling for help.
overnight.
Heine
A new
staggered back.
division, the Orchard
That's
Task
not
Force,
real,
was
she
formed,
whispered.
led by
But
Glass.
it was. Armin
mission,
understood immediately.
Trace every
This
shred
place.
of documentation
He turned
tied
slowly.
to the rogue child
It doesn't
placement
just take
network,
people.
believed to have
A pause.
operated from
It copies them.
1971 to
Heine's breathing
1993,
became uneven.
and they had a
Then,
new lead.
which one am I?
The man in
Armin
the
didn't
photograph.
answer. Because he didn't know.
In the newly discovered
voice
photo,
inside the door
just
changed.
barely visible in the
Not
background,
Heine anymore.
stood
Something
an adult
else.
figure,
Deeper.
male,
Colder.
wearing a
You
long
broke it.
coat,
The
hand
void
on
trembled.
Rosie's shoulder.
The white space flickered.
Digital enhancement
Cracks
revealed
appeared.
his face.
Like fractures
He
in
wasn't
reality
Walter
itself.
Harlan. He
Armin
wasn't
stepped
Pastor
back.
Rusk.
What did we
He was
do?
unknown,
Heine
a
whispered.
stranger.
Armin's voice was
And
low.
yet,
We
when
weren't
Glass
supposed to
ran
leave.
facial recognition
The
through
cracks
old
spread.
DMV and security
Faster.
archives,
The door began
one
to
hit
shake.
came up.
The shadows inside
Reverend Paul
moved
Myers,
violently. Reaching.
a former pastor
trying
of a
to escape.
Pentecostal branch,
The
shut
voice
down
returned.
in 1994
Angrier now.
after suspected
You don't
tax
belong
fraud.
here.
He had
Armin
vanished,
grabbed Heine's hand.
never arrested,
We need to move.
never found,
Where? She cried.
until now.
Armin looked around.
The hunt
But there was
begins.
nowhere to go. Nothing to
The
run
FBI
toward.
joined the
Nothing
investigation
to run
in early
from.
2026.
Just the void.
They
Breaking.
dubbed it
The
Operation
ground
Hidden
beneath
Choir,
them shifted.
targeting
cracking
the
open,
suspected underground
pulling
child
apart.
relocation
The
network,
door collapsed
disguised
inward.
as spiritual
The hallway
sanctuaries.
inside. Exploding outward.
Glass was appointed
merging with
special
the void.
consultant.
The system.
Lily gave
Rebuilding.
permission to share portions
Reforming.
of her story for the
Around them.
nationwide campaign.
And then, everything went
at a
black.
press conference,
Again.
Glass spoke
Reality
with a
didn't
trembling
return
voice.
all at once.
We
It
thought
never
this
did
case
anymore.
ended at the Harlan
It came
house.
back in fragments.
We were wrong.
Sound first.
It didn't end there.
A low hum.
It began
Then,
there.
Pressure.
A candle
Like something
for Rosie.
squeezing his chest from the inside.
Back in Kalamazoo,
And finally,
people left candles
light.
along the fence line
Flickering.
where the Harlan house
Broken.
once stood.
Armin opened his eyes.
Children
The
wrote
hallway
Rosie
was back.
letters.
But it
One
wasn't
note
the same.
written in a child's
It couldn't
crayon
be.
read,
Because now,
"Dear Rosie,
he understood it.
I wish
The
you were my
doors still
sister.
stretched endlessly.
Thank
The
you
number
for
still
saving Lily.
repeated.
Thank you
217.
for being brave.
But the
I
illusion
love you."
was gone. Armin could
Glass
see
read
it
it
clearly
and
now.
tucked it into her
The
notebook.
walls weren't solid.
Some
They
cases
shifted,
never leave you.
like they were made of
some
something
names
unstable. Something
You
unfinished.
carry forever.
The doors weren't doors. They were anchors. Points holding the structure together. And the hallway. The hallway wasn't a place. It was a mechanism. Heine lay beside him. Unconscious. Her breathing shallow. Armin shook her gently. Heine. No response. He checked her pulse. Weak. But there. Come on, he muttered. Her eyes fluttered. Then slowly. Opened. She looked at him. But something was wrong. Her expression. Distant. You saw it, she whispered. Armin froze. What? Heine's voice trembled. The others. A pause. The copies. Armin's jaw tightened. Yes. Heine looked away. Then you know. Armin didn't answer. Because he did know. Or at least, he was starting to. The sound returned. Footsteps. But this time, they didn't echo. They overlapped. Like multiple sets. Moving at once. Armin stood slowly. Turned. And there it was. The figure. Standing at the far end of the hallway. But different now. Clearer. More defined. And somehow, familiar. It stepped forward. The lights flickered. The hallway pulsed. The doors rattled softly. Heine grabbed Armin's arm. Don't let it touch you, she whispered. Armin didn't respond. Because he couldn't look away. The closer it got, the clearer it became. Its shape stopped shifting. Its face stopped distorting. And then, Armin saw it. Not a monster. Not a shadow. Not something unknown. Himself. Heine gasped. No. Armin's breath caught. Because standing in front of him was his own reflection. But not quite. The eyes were wrong. Empty. Endless. You, Armin whispered. The figure tilted its head, mirroring him perfectly. Then, it smiled. A slow, unnatural, knowing smile. You understand now. The voice wasn't spoken, but it filled his mind. Cold. Absolute. Armin's thoughts raced. No. But the truth was already there, waiting. This place, he said slowly. It doesn't just take people. The figure stepped closer, nodding. It replaces them. Heine shook her head violently. No, no, that's not. But Armin raised his hand, stopping her, because now, everything made sense. The system, the balance, the rule. One must stay. The figure wasn't the thing controlling the whole way. It was the result, the one who stayed. Every time someone crosses, Armin continued, they don't disappear. A pause. They become this. The figure smiled wider. Correct. Heine's grip tightened. Then, what happens to the others? The figure turned its head slightly, toward the doors, toward the endless rows of rooms. They wait. The doors creaked open, one by one, and inside, the people, still, silent, watching. Armin felt it now. That pull, stronger than before, not just physical, mental, like something was trying to overwrite him, replace him. You're not me, Armin said firmly. The figure stepped closer, now only inches away. I was. Armin's heart pounded. What does that mean? The figure raised its hand, slowly, reaching toward his face. You will be. Armin grabbed its wrist. Cold. Not like skin. Not like anything alive. I'm not staying here, he said. The figure's expression didn't change. You already did. The hallway shifted violently. The doors slammed. The lights flickered out, then back on. Heine screamed. Armin. He turned toward her, and froze, because she was fading. Her body, becoming transparent. No, he rushed toward her, but his hand passed through her arm, like she wasn't fully there anymore. This is the exchange, the figure said. Armin turned back. What did you do? The figure tilted its head again. You broke the balance. A pause. Now it corrects. Heine's voice trembled. I'm going back. Armin's chest tightened. No, you're not. But she shook her head. It's pulling me. Her form flickered, like a weak signal. I think, she whispered, I was never supposed to leave. Armin clenched his fists. No. He turned to the figure. Stop it. The figure didn't move, didn't react. You chose. Armin's mind raced. There had to be a way. There had to be something he missed. Something in the system. A flaw. Then, he saw it. The doors. They weren't just anchors. They were connections. Each one linked to a person, a version, a copy. And Heine was still connected. I don't need to replace you, Armin said suddenly. The figure paused. For the first time, it hesitated. I just need to break your connection. The hallway trembled. The system, reacting again. Heine looked at him. What are you doing? Armin met her eyes. Trust me. He turned and ran, straight toward the nearest door. The figure moved instantly, faster than before, trying to stop him. But Armin was already there. He grabbed the handle and ripped the door open. Inside, another version of Heine, trapped, silent. Armin reached in and pulled her out. The hallway exploded. The system, overloaded. The figure screamed, a sound of pure distortion. Because now, there were two originals, two realities, and no rule. For what happens next? Everything started to collapse. Again, everything broke at once. Not slowly, not in pieces, all at once. The hallway screamed. Not a sound, but a pressure, a force that crushed inward from every direction. The walls split open, the doors ripped from their frames. Reality, unraveling. Armin hit the ground hard. The air knocked out of him. Heine's voice echoed somewhere, distant. Armin. But distance didn't exist anymore. Everything was folding in on itself. Like the system was trying to erase the mistake. Two originals. That wasn't allowed. Armin pushed himself up. The second Heine, the one he pulled from the door, lay motionless nearby. The other Heine, the one who came with him, was flickering, glitching, like a signal being torn apart. Which one? He whispered. But the question didn't matter anymore, because the system didn't care. To it, they were both errors. The figure appeared again. But now, it was unstable, its form shifting rapidly. Faces flashing across its surface. Dozens, hundreds, all the people who had stayed, all the ones who became it. Its voice came out fractured. You broke everything. Armin stood. No, he said. I fixed it. The figure lunged, but the floor collapsed beneath it, swallowing half its form into the void. It screamed again, distorted, inhuman. The hallway was no longer stable. It wasn't even a hallway anymore, just fragments, floating pieces of something that used to make sense. Doors hung in empty space, some spinning slowly, some breaking apart. Each one, a life, a version, a trapped existence. Armin turned to Heine. Both of them now, one on the ground, one barely holding together. Listen to me, he said. The standing Heine looked at him, fear in her fading eyes. What do we do? She asked. Armin didn't answer immediately, because now, he understood everything. Room number 6 wasn't a place. It wasn't even a room. It was a rule, a system, a mechanism that maintained itself. By replacing, by copying, by trapping. One enters, one leaves, one stays, always balanced. Until now. We can't both go back, Armin said quietly. Heine's face fell. I know. The second Heine stirred weakly. Alive, but disconnected. A fragment. Armin looked between them, his mind racing, calculating. There was only one way. The system needs a constant, he said. A core. Heine shook her head. No, don't. He met her eyes. It's already choosing. The collapsing world around them proved it. Violently, desperately, trying to restore order. If we don't decide, Armin continued, it will. And it won't care who it takes. Silence. Even in the chaos, there was silence, because they both understood. Heine stepped closer, her form flickering again. You saved me, she said softly. Armin shook his head. Not yet. The figure rose again behind them. Broken, twisted, but still there. Still trying to exist. Still trying to reclaim its place. You cannot leave. Armin turned, and for the first time, he wasn't afraid. You're not the system, he said. You're just what's left behind. The figure paused, confused, weak. Armin took a step toward it, then another. If something has to stay, he said quietly, then it won't be her. Heine's eyes widened. Armin, no. But he didn't stop, because he had already decided. The doors around them began to align, pulling together, reforming something. A structure, a shape, a single door. Old, worn, familiar. Room number 6. Armin stood in front of it, the handle cold under his fingers, the same as before. But now, he understood what it meant. Not an entrance, a choice. Heine grabbed his arm. You don't have to do this, she said desperately. There has to be another way. Armin looked at her, really looked, at the person who shouldn't have made it out, but did, because of him. That's exactly why I do, he said. The world around them screamed louder, cracks tearing through everything. Time, running out. Armin took a breath. Then, he opened the door. Darkness, endless. But this time, he didn't hesitate. He stepped inside. The moment he crossed, everything stopped. The collapse, the noise, the distortion, silence. Perfect. Absolute. Heine screamed his name, but it sounded distant, fading. The door closed behind him, and the system stabilized. Outside, the hallway was gone. The motel, gone. The doors, gone. Heine stood alone, in an empty street. Night air, cold, Real. The world. Normal. The second Heine. Gone. Erased. Because only one could remain. She turned slowly. Heart pounding. Searching. But there was nothing. No sign of the place. No trace of what happened. Only one thing remained. Behind her, at the edge of the street, a single door, standing alone. Old. Worn. Silent. Room number 6. She stared at it for a long time, tears streaming silently down her face, because she knew what it meant now. What was inside? Not a monster, not a trap. Armin, watching, waiting, keeping the balance. The door creaked softly, just once, like something inside had shifted. Heine stepped back, shaking her head. No, she whispered, because she understood one final truth. If she opened it, he might not be the one who comes out, and the system would start again. So she turned and walked away, leaving room number 6 behind. Closed. Forever. Inside. In the endless dark. Armin stood. No hallway. No doors. No voices. Just him. And the silence. Until a sound. Soft. Distant. A knock. From the other side. Armin looked toward the door. The only thing that existed anymore. And slowly, he smiled. Because now, he understood. He wasn't trapped. He was the system.
Hey there. Welcome to Midnight Sleep Crime. I'm here to help you relax tonight. I know many of you use this video to fall asleep, so before you get too cozy, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. I'd love to hear from you. Story 1. A remodeling crew in Michigan was tearing up a 19th century farmhouse floor when they found a trapdoor. What was inside led to a statewide investigation, 5 exhumations, and the unmasking of a killer who had hidden in plain sight for over 40 years. In 2023, contractor Luis Romero and his crew begin renovations on an old farmhouse outside Kalamazoo. While removing the rotted living room floor, they discover a hidden trapdoor sealed shut with bolts and concrete. Inside is a narrow staircase that leads to a fully preserved 1970s children's bedroom, untouched, with toys, posters, and a bed still made. At first, the room seems like an eerie historical oddity, until they find human teeth in a jewelry box on the dresser. The case quickly unravels decades of secrets tied to the house's original owners, the Harlan family. The youngest daughter, Rosie Harlan, had gone missing in 1981 at the age of 9, but police had no evidence, and the family claimed she'd run away. Over the years, multiple foster children placed in the home also disappeared or died under suspicious circumstances, yet the case files were scattered and never connected. The discovery leads to a massive forensic effort that uncovers 5 victims. But the biggest shock comes when a now elderly man, a retired police detective who originally cleared the Harlans, is exposed as being part of the cover-up. His connection to the Harlans runs deeper than anyone imagined. The twist? The preserved bedroom was never meant to be found. It was built as a memorial by someone with a conscience, someone who left behind a final letter explaining everything. Kalamazoo, Michigan, May 3rd, 2023. Luis Romero wasn't one for superstition. He'd torn up enough old floors and walls over the years to know that sometimes creaking noises and cold spots were just bad insulation and worse plumbing. But this house felt different. The job was simple enough. Restore a dilapidated 1880s farmhouse for a young couple planning to turn it into a countryside Airbnb. The property had been vacant for decades, passed down through inheritance, rarely touched. A minor fixer-upper, they said, until Romero's crew pulled up the floorboards in the main room. It was Luis's apprentice, Kenny, who first found the edge of it, a steel-reinforced trapdoor, completely sealed with old cement and rusted bolts. "Hey, boss," Kenny called, tapping his crowbar against the edge. "You see this?" Luis knelt down, running his hand across the surface. It was flush with the joists, expertly disguised. He followed the bolts with his eyes. Someone had gone to great lengths to make sure this door stayed shut. "Get the grinder," Luis muttered. "We're opening it." The trapdoor. The air changed the moment they cracked the seal. A musty, cold draft crept out from below. Kenny leaned in with a flashlight and frowned. "It's stairs," he said. "Leads down, but it's weird. Looks like finished walls." The hole opened into a narrow stairwell, perfectly preserved. As they descended, it felt less like a basement and more like a capsule from another time. At the bottom was a small door with floral wallpaper peeling at the edges. Behind it, a room no larger than 10 by 10 feet. A pink bed with ruffled sheets sat perfectly made. A small dresser, toy chest, and bookshelf lined the walls. Movie posters from the 1970s, The Rescuers, Star Wars, Pete's Dragon, were pinned up like someone had just been there. Dust lay everywhere, but nothing had been disturbed. A dollhouse sat open on the floor. On the nightstand, a Mickey Mouse lamp flickered when Luis tried the switch. This doesn't make sense," Kenny whispered. Luis opened the closet. Inside were a row of tiny dresses, all neatly hung, and a shoebox. He opened it. Inside, nestled among yellowed hair ribbons and paper dolls, were 6 human teeth. The police were called immediately. Within hours, the farmhouse was roped off, and the county coroner arrived with 2 forensic techs. Detective Ellen Glass of the Kalamazoo Sheriff's Department took the lead. The first thing she noticed? The room wasn't built with the rest of the house. The walls were newer, the construction modern. It had been created within the house and expertly hidden. "What we have," she said during the initial press briefing, "is a crime scene that may date back over 4 decades. We believe this was a concealed living space, and there is strong indication that a child lived here for some time." But what shocked her most wasn't the room. It was the house's history. The property had belonged to the Harlan family until 1997, when the last surviving member, Anne Harlan, was placed in hospice care. The Harlans had 4 children, but only 3 remained in the public record after 1981. The youngest, Rosie Harlan, had been listed as a runaway at age 9. The official report was thin. No signs of foul play, no autopsy, no evidence. But now, a child's room was buried beneath the house, one that no one had known existed, a room designed to be locked, forgotten. The survivor. 3 days later, the story broke statewide. Images of the hidden room appeared across news channels, the headline reading, "Secret Child's Room Found Beneath 19th Century Farmhouse in Kalamazoo." That's when the phone call came. Detective Glass picked up on the 3rd ring. "This is Ellen," she said. The voice on the other end was shaky, elderly, a man. "I know that house," he said. "I lived next door until 84. My name is Martin Blanchard. I remember Rosie." Ellen's ears perked up. "You were neighbors with the Harlans?" "Yeah," he said. "And I remember things. Screaming, mostly. And once she threw a note over the fence. I was just a teenager. I didn't do anything." "What did the note say?" There was silence for a moment. She wrote, "I'm not allowed to leave, but I'm still here. Please tell someone. My name is Rosie." A pattern emerges. The cold case unit began a full reinvestigation of Rosie's disappearance. While combing through the original police files, Detective Glass found inconsistencies, officers' notes missing, evidence never processed, and one name stood out. Detective Charles Lenning, the lead investigator at the time, had signed off on Rosie's case within 48 hours, an unusually short window for a child disappearance. He had since retired, now living 2 counties over. Glass made contact. "What do you remember about Rosie Harlan?" she asked. "Runaway," Lenning said flatly. "No sign of abduction. Parents said she'd been troubled. Case was closed. No foul play." "You didn't find it odd that a 9-year-old could disappear without a trace?" "I followed protocol. If you're calling me 40 years later, then maybe your department's got time to waste. I don't." Click. Something wasn't right. The dollhouse back at the scene, forensic teams began inventorying the room. Beneath the bed was a crawl space sealed with plywood. Inside, they discovered a small metal lockbox. Inside the lockbox was a set of photographs, Polaroids, curled at the edges, showing a young girl with red hair in various poses. Some showed her smiling, others crying. But the final photo chilled the entire team. It was of Rosie standing beside the dollhouse, holding up a sign written in crayon, "This is not my home." On the roof of the dollhouse, forensic techs noticed something strange. Carved into the shingles with a blade were 7 sets of initials. Only one matched someone they knew. R.H., Rosie Harlan. The rest? Unknown. The room had become a forensic goldmine and a nightmare. Detective Ellen Glass stared at the dollhouse on the evidence table. Each carved set of initials was cataloged and magnified. 7 sets. One belonged to Rosie Harlan. The others? No mention of them in any Harlan family records. Glass felt a pit form in her stomach. Assume the worst, she muttered. 7 sets of initials. 7 kids. Desai nodded grimly. If we're lucky, initials alone won't be all we have for long. Digging the records, Detective Glass requested all missing persons reports for children under 12 between 1975 and 1985 in Kalamazoo County and surrounding areas. The list was longer than she expected, and many had gone cold with only vague leads. She assigned her team to begin cross-referencing the initials with these files.